So hello everybody, it is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting by myself once again as Donovan is on his way. I think he made it to the DR, but he is, going to get settled and all of that, and I think he'll be here on Tuesday. We can only hope, as he has been traveling last week to go to his grandfather's funeral, who lived to be 100. So, and then he took off immediately to the DR. But nevertheless, I am here. I like to say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. I also like to say a big giant thank you, welcome, and hello to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family, and sometimes we share the link. I may share the link today. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I try not to share the link because if I'm by myself, then God forbid it goes down, and then, But nevertheless, if I do bring you up or share the link and your thing looks like this, please show me a live, photo or, of yourself. And then if you want to go ahead and put it back like this before I bring you up, you can do that. I just want to verify that as you and it's not some other, people trying to come on here with the stuff. Also ask that if you have said the same thing over and over again, please do not click the link and come up and say it again unless it is apropos to the topic. And then also I like to say just all of us as we are, right? Let's be respectful to one another in the comment section. If I bring you up, be respectful to everybody on the platform. Because, on these other people's platforms, we can and cannot say certain things. Now, I want to say that the topic today is African immigrants gather at New York City Hall to ask for fair treatment after being neglected. Of course, I'm going to show y'all a video now because we are dealing with I don't want to say it's a sensitive topic, but we know it kind of is. There's some sort of contention, if you will, between Black Americans and, some on the continent and the Caribbeans and things like that. All I ask is for us to put on our thinking caps and let's rise above a gutter language, if you will. Let's try to have a very intelligent conversation. Because I think I'm going to take this in a way that maybe you guys aren't expecting. But nevertheless, I'm going to show y'all a video. Let's see who came on here before I get started to give everybody an opportunity to come on here before they say, what are we talking about? All right. So Valerie, how you doing? Says, well, we all know they didn't walk here, so they have to come here under false pretense. And New York said they were buying and tickets for any of them to return home. Yes, that was a couple of months ago, right? JJ, how you doing? Said, this is all your president Biden's fault. Who's your? It's not my president. You also say there's a racist white Hispanic YouTube channel that's trying to tie these Black immigrants' demands to reparations. Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit more of that. Rajab, how you doing? It says, Black men vote Trump 2024. That is y'all prerogative. Brother Don, how you doing? Thank you so much for moderating. I love and appreciate you for that. Yes, Donovan is on his way to the DR, and I think it's Sasua, if I'm not mistaken. William, how you doing? Candy, what's going on with you? Troy, how are you? Vic, what is going on? Hello, Easy. I hope you're having a great day. Mike, nice. What's going on? And let's see who else is on here. Brother Samuel, how you doing? I'm almost done. Look, I brought it up here so y'all can see this is what I'm reading, Mathematics of the Mind by Brother Nuri Muhammad. Very good read. And it's not necessarily about numbers. It's about logic, personal belief system, knowledge of self, and realizing that we are gods and we have the God ability as well. Great book. I'm almost done. So let's see here. Oh, I'm the first one, Vic, to talk about this. Let's just hope this goes well, okay? God Body, how you doing? Says, do you think they are different from us? I say, can I get into it just yet? And then we're going to see, hey, Corey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. One who cares. How are you? And Brother Sam says, rise above emotion into the thinking of God. Yes, yes, yes. And Polo Styles, and I don't know always Jack and name, but how you doing? Said they don't even protest on the continent. This sounds fishy. Well, we're going to see, between you and I and everybody else, we're going to see if we can get down to the bottom of it. H. McDaniel, I hope you're doing well. He says, hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all. Move back home here in sunny Central California. I envy you. I'm in Houston. It's pretty sunny today. And Lillian, how you doing? Says, you in Louisiana. All right. And Vic says, I've been watching news and whenever they talk about crime by immigrants, they always show Black immigrants sitting on the side of the street in New York. Negroes, how you doing? And Shanine, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says they think that they are different than us until something happens to them or they need help. Then they are brothers or black man. How you doing? He says, love you, sis. I love you too. Keep up the good work and thank you so much. Vicky says, you got this, sis. Just take your time. I know, right? Navy Vet, how you doing? It says peace and blessings. And Buckhorse, how you doing? I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. All right, so let's get into it for the sake of time. So I actually saw this last week, and I did a story for African Diaspora News Channel, but it's not out yet. It's being edited, so y'all going to see it on a even bigger platform. But nevertheless, okay, as we know, since Biden is coming to office, there's been this thing called open border policy. Right now, we know when Trump was in office, it was Title 42, which closed the borders. Right, so he closed the borders due to really kind of like the pandemic, saying that no one else can come over here, because it was really rampant, and Trump was saying we don't want it to spread. And of course, he had other motives, but nevertheless, the borders were closed. And then Biden and Kamala, let's tie them two together. They got into office and they opened the borders, and of course, we have seen what has ensued since then. Some people have called it an invasion. You could do with that if you want, but for a time, it was just droves and droves and droves and droves and droves of immigrants rushing the borders like that of Texas, where I'm at, where Governor Greg Abbott, who's a Republican, sent them to the Democratic states and or cities saying, hey, you guys are for the open borders. We are not. We should not have to foot the bill. And some of those people, migrants is what they call them, and some people call them immigrants, they ended up in New York City. Now, it should be said that it sounds like for a while it was predominantly Venezuelans, and then it was Chinese. Then we start to hear a lot about different migrants coming from the continent, and then the Caribbean, Jamaica and stuff like that, just all over. But I'm going to show y'all a video and then we can get into it, okay? So they are saying that they being the black, call them that for sake of argument, immigrants are saying they are being neglected and it's not fair. What about us? All right, so check it out.
City Hall, the treatment and experiences of Black migrants at the forefront.
Black immigrant newcomers have faced especially stark barriers.
The City Council's Committee on Immigration and the Committee on Hospitals held a joint hearing to discuss the disparities many Black migrants are reporting during the city's asylum seeker surge. It's a topic Fox 5 News has been exploring in our Migrants in America series. Black asylum seekers in New York City have been leaning on community activists for help.
Some of the shelters are really hard for some of our folks.
As I've reported, cultural differences, language barriers, and racism are some of the issues Black migrants say they're facing. In our series, we featured the voice of activist Adama Ba because she's helping countless Black migrants in New York City daily.
This is a safe place.
She was among those at the table today.
To hold the mayor's office accountable.
This invisible population that actually has been ignored.
Outside City Hall before the hearing, asylum seekers and those helping them during this migrant crisis came out to stand up.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
New York City public advocate Jumani Williams moved by the sheer numbers.
I'm speaking as a son of Black immigrants. This is a proud moment for me. This is very beautiful. I'm sorry.
They're asking for equality. At the hearing, the issues reported included that the city imposed limits on shelter stays, 30 days for singles and 60 days for migrants, are disproportionately affecting Black migrants.
The 60-day rules disproportionately evicted African immigrants.
The response on this from the administration.
Migrants from Africa are disproportionately single adults and adult families. Around 81% of migrants from African countries currently in our care are single adults/adult families, compared to the overall average of 22% for the entire system.
As we've reported in our Migrants in America series, many Black migrants from countries including Senegal, Mauritania, and Haiti, for example, speak French or their native language, and that makes everything more difficult. Stephanie Bertini, Fox 5 News.
All right, so I just wanted to give you guys, I guess a brief synopsis of what's going on. So, of course, and I'm going to get to the rest of these comments. Y'all have heard them basically say it's unfair and they're not being treated like the other migrants. And in the larger scheme of things, the Black migrants are being left out. And so with the 30, 60 days shelter rule, basically, depending on how many are in your party or family, you either have to leave after 30 days or 60 days. And as you heard them say, it's disproportionately affecting that of the Black migrants. I've also seen the term anti-Blackness being thrown around in regards to them. Let's see here. And they want justice. And a lot of them have said that they are just here to work. They want to add to the economy. They need work permits, and then I've seen other videos of them saying, we heard and we thought that America and Americans were kinder, nicer, if you will, and they're dismayed, if you will, that they are going through what they are going through. Now, since it's just me up here, normally I will pass it to Donovan, and then I will give my opinion. I have two things, okay? The first thing is this. Now, African immigrants, Jamaican, and wherever else they may come from, now they're seeing what Black Americans have gone through and are going through. And so when I hear that they are shocked and hurt and they're not being treated fairly, it's like, did you come over here thinking that you would be? Did you come over here thinking that white supremacy loves you more because you come from a different place? What were you thinking exactly? Did you think that we as Black Americans were lying? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, not all, because I've been to the continent and very lovely people did not have one adverse encounter over there. So I want to say that. But some of them come over here and they like to thumb their nose at Black Americans and say a whole lot of stuff. We lazy, this, that, and the other. And we don't have culture, blah, 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 blah. But then you come over here to this land of milk and honey and the American dream, and then you end up living the American nightmare. And now you want everybody to come together and understand why you're being treated differently than the other migrants that are not Black. Well, it's like, that's how Black Americans get treated. So again, why did you think you would be treated differently? Okay. So the other thing that I have is, on the positive side for them, do y'all see how many? They didn't say. They said there was hundreds of Black migrants inside of City Hall and dozens others outside of City Hall protesting, saying, "Hey, it's not right." And this happened like last Tuesday. It's not right that we are not being treated fairly. Where is our piece of the pie like the rest of the migrants? Now, remind you, ain't none of them supposed to be over here, and here they are. All of them, whether they're Africa, Venezuela, China, wherever, they're all protesting in America about what they're not getting, right? But I will say, as I was saying, the positive thing is that there was a whole lot of them there. But unfortunately, in some, and I'll say a lot of cases, when Black people, Black Americans have a cause that we really need to show up for, it's a trickle, it's a few, right? So we should take notes, because again, they should even be over here, but yet they're standing in solidarity like, nah, we're going to get what all the other migrants are getting, or we going to raise, HE double hockey sticks, right? Now, the other thing I want to say to us as Black Americans, we are always distracted with everything else, as y'all might know, or maybe if you lived under a rock, that there's this hip hop beef going on, right? Everybody's all embroiled to this hip hop, Drake and, K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar and Rick Ross and all these, Chris Brown didn't even jumped into it somehow with Quavo. We are all engrossed into that. And it's like, how does that help us move the needle? These very wealthy people are fighting with each other, and everybody else who is not wealthy or will even rub elbows with them. I say everybody else, and Black people, we're glued to who's got the better bars, or who's, this, that, and the other. But everybody else, they're marching circles around us as we are distracted with things that don't even matter. And I'm going to just put this out there before I get in the comment section. I think all that is by design. I think all those rappers, if not most of them, are in on it. They're keeping Negroes distracted in low-hanging fruit activity, keeping us in our lower desires, worrying about something that has nothing to do with us, while everything else is moving, not even behind the scenes. It's moving in plain daylight, but we don't see that because we got everything else going on but what we need to have going on, right? Y'all might remember there's an election going on, and there will be one in November. They're going to be trying to get a new, or maybe not a new president, because Trump was president before and Biden is trying to keep his seat. So there's a lot of things we need to be paying attention to, because as Black Americans, we are out of time. Y'all heard Dr. Claude Anderson say that we eventually would be at the bottom of the totem pole, right? A permanent underclass. He said this in the 90s, and here it is 2024, and we still worrying about who got the better bars, while Africans and everybody else are at city halls talking about, give me mine. I want my piece of the pie, right? And I'm not saying we don't say we want our piece of the pie. We say we want reparations. It's due us, right? But I guess, now Africans and the other Black people from all over the world, they're saying, well, we want, reparations. And you know what the crazy part is? They gonna get it before we get it. I guarantee you, they gonna get something before we get it. And we need to figure out why and what do we need to do to change that, right? Because they're gonna get your tax dollars to go take care of themselves while you're sitting up there. When I say you, I'm talking about just Black Americans begging for a little crumb so we can just do a little bit better. And they're going to run circles around us while we are worried about nonsense. So anyway, let me get to the comment section and see what y'all got to say. I'm sure, I made somebody mad. I didn't mean to. By the time 103, how you doing? Valerie says, I want Black Americans to stand on that immigration reform, but it's still a no. Immigration reform has nothing to do with Black Americans. Absolutely not. But you know what? As I said, neither does the hip hop beef or any of the other nonsense that's going on in the world of, nonsensicalness. But I totally agree with you, bro. How you doing? Says these African migrants don't want to have anything to do with us until they get discriminated against. And then all of a sudden they want to be our friend. These migrants don't deserve our tax dollars. I totally agree with you. Vicky says, why is all the Black immigrants don't have nowhere to live when they come to New York? Shaking my head. What's the purpose of the Black Caucus? Well, the Black Caucus, their purpose is to help Black Americans. But see, they don't do that. They help everybody but Black Americans, right? Even Honorable Elijah Muhammad in The Fall of America said, while African brothers and sisters are that, right? There are brothers and sisters. We still got to worry about our plight of here in Black people in America, So the caucus's job is supposed to help Black Americans, but they don't. I think they have the only one with the mission statement of helping Black people in other marginalized communities. No other caucus says in other marginalized communities. They say Asian, Hispanic, and whoever else, right? And Corey says, hey, sis, I'm good. I'm going through a breakup. Unfortunately, some people are absolutely disrespectful. Bring that up again toward the end because I really like to speak to that. So don't let me forget, Corey, okay? So bring it up because I really want to see if I can, give you a little bit of advice. And Tito, how you doing? He says, yes, those two idiots. And OG Patrice, how you doing? And Lillian says, Ukraine is in Springfield, Illinois now. Oh, yeah, the Ukrainians are everywhere. They're everywhere. And they've gotten a lot of money. And I don't know if y'all saw Congress. They just gave, what was it? They said $80-something billion to everybody else, including Ukraine. I think they got like $61 billion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they got some billions nevertheless. So, yeah, they're getting a lot of money. And you also say, let's see. JJ says they were all basically dumped into Black hoods. Yep. And now Black people are fighting. But you know what? I know some people don't like it, but hey, Black people voted for that. We vote for the Democrats more than anybody else. And then we complain. We complain because the Democrats are helping everybody else. They couldn't help everybody else unless we help them do it. And that's when we need to our own selves and say, don't do that again. But like I said, in November, we're going to go, when I say we Black people, going to go right back into the booth and vote blue no matter who, because we just can't have Trump come back in office or whatever the case is, right? And then you think it's bad now what Biden and Kamala are doing? Just wait if they get reelected. It's going to be worse. Valerie says, Black people are mistreated all around this globe. Yep, absolutely. And Easy says, hey, migrants, you have Black skin. Welcome to America. Right. Be easy that do what's going on. He says they aren't Black according to them. Yeah, but you are when you come to America, don't you? They remind you of that. Yeah, you Black? You thought you were special? Okay. Tito says, get they out also. We have no friends. Well, we, definitely got to worry about our own stuff first. And Shanine, he says, people come here expecting so much. Yeah, because, they looking at the other migrants getting everything. But, there's like, well, not y'all. And Trump said, too, let's keep it a buck. He called, African countries and other countries like that S-hole countries. And we saw what Biden did when the Haitians tried to come over there, especially on the border. Well, let's put it with Texas first. The Texas Rangers, if you will, they had lassos and stuff. And then Biden was like, oh, we can't afford to take care of them. So they sent them right back. But then you saw a big old, crowd of everybody else coming over shortly after that. So Neither administration wants Black immigrants coming over here. Hello, Sheila. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Be Easy says, how are they invisible with all these resources given to them? Well, they feel like they're getting the short end of the stick in regards to the other ones. Lillian says, short vacation, bro. Okay, so Ashanini says, yes, welcome to America. They thought it was so easy and everyone thinks we are lazy. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. And Polo says they're protesting for reparations. Yeah, if you want to call it that. And by the time 103 says, Demetri K, if you have noticed that in front of City Hall, there were no Hispanics out there showing support. Nah, because they getting everything they needed. They snug as a bug in a rug. In Black neighborhoods, they got money and all kind of stuff. They like, but see, again, somebody mentions the Black Caucus, but the Black Caucus, they help, the Hispanic community, but they rarely help their own community. So you're right. Mindful Moments, how you doing? Says we have been speaking about these same issues since we won our freedom. They are no different from us. They're now finding out this is not the promised land. Right? It's like, well, what was you thinking? Brogu says these African migrants want to segregate themselves from Black Americans until something happens. Don't call yourself Black now. You're African. Remember, yeah, they said it's anti-Blackness. It's like, wait a minute now. Ain't that what we've been saying? That anything that's adverse to Black people is anti-Blackness, and it's specifically because we're Black, that's anti-Blackness. And now y'all want to take the term anti-Blackness? Is like, what are we doing here? Oh, how quickly we forget. But again, as I said, I gotta give them credit because it was a whole lot of them showing up, and I guarantee you they're gonna get something. I bet you, because look at the people they had rallying for them. Let's see here. Be Easy, you say now they're all Black, and when they come here, they say they're Nigerian, Senegalese, etc. Now they're Black. Yes, indeed, that's the language to get people's attention. You know what I mean? Polo says our replacements are here. Yeah, you could argue that. JJE says they all will have the same attitude. Mr. Acho, rather, after a couple of years in America. Yeah, Emmanuel Acho. Yeah, he seems like he's very anti-Black American. I mean, what is he, Nigerian or something like that? And Ashanine says they are complaining about moving their luggage every 60 days. Well, that is more than what they came with, demanding stuff. Yeah, what about homeless people? There's a lot of homeless people who have to move their boxes or their shopping carts or whatever it is, right? And they're not getting any help. Another thing too is, I often hear about how, Black Americans are lazy, this, that, and the other. And when other, groups of people, whether they're from Africa, Venezuela, whatever, they come over here and they make it happen. It's like, well, make it happen. Why you got to be protesting at City Hall? Make it happen. Snap your fingers and do that voodoo that you do so well that you say that we don't know how to do. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying voodoo like, you know what I mean. That actually comes from, I think, Blazing Saddles or History of the World. It's a movie, so. Nevertheless, Soto says, what's up, sis? Coming at you from South Africa. Okay. I try to hold on before I fall asleep. It's 12:22 a.m. Yeah, you guys are like, 8 hours or so ahead of us? Yeah, you'll probably fall asleep before this is over. But thank you for joining us. Avenge the Ancestors. How you doing? And Jay Sakura Cage, how you doing? He says, saw the tagline. I had to come in and comment. That's a lot of energy they're putting into challenging America. Where was that smoke for their homeland? I should have read your comment. I sure should have, and I know I'm behind, so I'm going to catch up. Vic says they're being treated wrong. Shame on mayor and governor. Yeah, but the mayor is what? He Black. Eric Adams is a Black man. But y'all see he going to bat. I think they said they spent like $1.4 billion on migrants. I have my daughter look for me, and they said that there's about 760,000 Black migrants in New York, and about 83% of them, from what I understand, are in New York City. So that's done by a Black governor who is thumbing his nose at Black immigrants, right? So absolutely. Ronnie Brown, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Hey, Miss White, I hope you're well. And Thunder, what's going on with you? I'm going to skip down a little bit so I can catch up because I know I'm behind here. Black America, what's going on with you? Says, my opinion, hell no, we ain't kind. You don't get a damn thing. But yeah, that's what they were saying. We thought, Americans were much kinder. And it's like, well, which Americans you talking about? Let's see here. Brogu says, since they're hardworking, they need to go back to their country and build it up. Let's stop playing games. They're here to benefit from the resources that we have worked hard for. That's what I'm saying. I should have read your comment as well. It's like, well, what happened? Do you just come over here? And I know it's probably a lot easier because there are resources over here that they don't have over there. But it's like, if you guys are such you know, a lot of times they say they're better than us, and I don't want to get into that argument. But if that is true, then how come you can't just do what you need to do over there? You know, I don't know. Is the effort different depending on where you're at? Mike, it says, why don't they do that in their homeland? Okay, let me skip down just a little bit so I could catch up in real time. Donovan, how you doing? He says, big ups to black men. Oh, Black man, the passport bros, the mayor of Sasua arrived today. Hit that like button. So he is in Sasua. That's where he is. You have fun with that. Soto says, as if Black Americans wasn't telling our cousins this. Yeah, I tried to tell you. And Brother Samuel said, the sentiment among the oppressor is what Mr. Trump put out. No one from S-hole countries. Yeah, he said that. And we've also seen Biden, you know, say, well, you know, we don't have the resources to take care of the Haitians, and they sent them right back. I don't even know if they was here, a good week before they all were sent back. So, yeah. Ashanine says, yes, they take FBAs for granted until something happens, then we are together. Yeah, it's like, nah, I mean, in theory, it should be that way, but everybody wants to, you know, kick Black Americans in the tailbone. And then when something go down, then they want us to come, you know, strap up our boots because they have seen us from really the time we've been over here. And I know there's some Black people here already, but off the plantation, let's just say it that way. They've seen Black Americans strap up our boots for whatever cause, whether we agree with it or not. We strapped up our boots. We own the blueprint to how to survive the white supremacists, right? And so when other groups come over here and they see that they don't have that blueprint, then they're like, hey, Black Americans, hey, big head, how y'all doing? And it's like, yes. I'm in purgatory till the Most High come. How you doing? It says one long family. Yes, indeed. JJ says no more Black. Me no Black, me no Black. You crazy. Donovan says very slow today in Sasua. It's a Catholic holiday or something. They knew you was coming, so they was like, hide the women, hide the women. Hey, Brother David, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. All right, and I'm gonna start reading you guys' comments again. I just want to catch up a little bit. Hey, Samuel, see what's going on with you. Metamorphosis, how are you? Long time no see. You say Americans first. Yes, indeed. And Polo says reparations is due. Yep, do us. Mindful Moment says heard about it, didn't care to follow. Okay. Yes, y'all. Thank you, Donovan. Says please like. You said something else. Like, share, and subscribe if y'all will. Thank you. And let's see. Ronnie Brown, he says, those other Black people don't support Black American freemen when the time comes up. No, in fact, some of them, not all, you know, they're a little bit upset that we want reparations. And some of them tried to say, well, we deserve reparations too. And it's like, how? I mean, unless you're a descendant of slavery here in America, you don't deserve reparations. And then, you know, and then I guess if they can't have it, we shouldn't have it. It's like, it's very selfish. Ashanine says, yes, distractions. Yep. And Tito says, I don't even listen to that crap. Ooh, I am way behind. Let me catch up, you guys, because y'all talking about rapping. That's what I was talking about 10 minutes ago. Let's see. And Negroes, who says they allowed the migrants to protest and take space at City Hall 3 years ago when they were trying to force that vax in order to work. Black Americans were not allowed to protest at City Hall then. Yep, you're absolutely right. And Lance, how you doing? Says, yep, media, multi-ethnic destruction in America. I like that. All right, so let me catch up. Sunday says, DK, thank you for the book suggestion in the other day. I will be ordering that book next week. Yes, it's a very good read. Check it out. Lillian says, I'm glued to tangible lineage. Reparations, cut the check. Cut the check. Yes, indeed. And Donovan says, Biden has lost 31% of the Black vote. He is a one-term president. He cannot articulate what he has done for Black Americans. Nope. So they're trying to get everybody else out there to do it. And it's like, nah, we don't see it, right? And M, how you doing? Let me catch up. Keisha, how you doing? Says, unpopular opinion. We have to realize that we all need to build together. We can't afford to be tribal anymore. Absolutely. Because I think you're absolutely right. But unfortunately, a lot of other groups come over here and they want to be tribal, right? They want to stick together. That's fine. You know, you want to be tribal. I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with you being tribal and then wanting to thumb your nose at Black Americans. I think that's when the problem comes in. Like, you can't sit with us type of attitude. And it's like, all right, Why can't you just come over here and make it do what it do? Why you got to come over here and be nasty? That's the problem I think most Black Americans have, because as they say, America is the melting pot. So there's a lot of people here, just come in, sit down and do what you do without messing with us. I don't think that's too much to ask for, but I agree. Building together would be optimal, but let's see. I promise I'm going to catch up back to you guys. I just want to make sure I catch up. Black America said this is fear mongering. How so? Let's get back down to your comments. Let's see. Extreme X, how you doing? Says you're exactly right, D. Just like Negroes were glued to the Cat Williams interview. Man, how many views did that have? What, 80 something million, maybe 70 at this point, which is one of the most viewed videos in YouTube history. So that's quite a bit. Metamorphosis says all this happened under the Democratic Party. Folks voted to their own demise, and just the begin. This is just the beginning. Yep. But again, I hate to say it. I think Black people gonna sign up and do it again. I don't know. Something just tells me don't hold your breath. We the people. How you doing? He says Black first 95 billion. And what is that exactly? Is that the number in New York? And Donovan says, don't come to this white man's country and just want to accept the good stuff. Come and get all if that's what the white man offers. So yeah, Donovan is very famous for saying that. Don't come over here and try to get the good benefits, Get all that the white man has to offer. Get a little bit of this racism, discrimination, Get it all. Don't try to say like a buffet. No, I don't want any of those. No, I'm not. I don't want. Give me an extra helping of those. But I don't. Nah, come on over and get what there's to get. So absolutely. And Vinny Van, how you doing? Says, my theory is they allow the migrants to come here and get benefits to keep us from advancing. I live in New York and it's flooded with Spanish and Africans. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's just like, what do you do at this point, right? But I can tell you what we can do as Black people, stop voting for that. Stop voting for the Democrats. Now, listen, I know somebody heard me say, wait, you want us to vote for Trump? I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'm telling you, if you want to see something different, vote differently. Some people say they're going to vote for the couch. Some people may vote for, Robert Kennedy, some Cornel West, or whatever. But if you keep voting for the same way, you're going to keep getting the same thing. I'll tell you what, I went to the grocery store yesterday and spent $99.90. And I had like 3-4 bags. And I'm like, $100 a year ago would have gone a lot further. So what I'm saying is, if you like even just that alone, going to the store and spending a lot of money on just bare necessities, then you keep voting the way you're voting, and it's going to get worse. That's all I'm saying. Let's see here. And Rodney says, that's why I don't vote, Queen D. Yeah, some people don't, and Lillian says, I'm glad so you're saying you vote down ballot? And why do you vote down ballot, if you don't mind me asking? And then Damien says, I should have read your comment. Hyperinflation is on the way. Get your prep on, people. Yeah, people are really having to start to think about the money that they spend now, because it's just like, what do you do? Hey, Brooklyn Bandit, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Monet, what's going on with you? Your average logical thinking, how are you doing? Alonzo, what's going on? He says, hey, Demetra, we've attempted the brother and sister thing with them, only to be shown their disdain for us at this point. They look just like illegals to me. Yeah, they don't, not all, but a lot of them really just don't want to work with us. They've come over here trying to simulate to that of white supremacists. And it's like, we've done nothing to you. What is this about? Donovan says what she was saying was these blacks get married and have families. Oh, okay. And who was saying that? So maybe you're talking to somebody else. Brogu says everybody's getting money except for us. We need to seriously get on call with one another, do what we got to do to make sure we get our reparations. This is absolutely ridiculous, seeing everyone paid. I agree with you. Lance says illegal Africans will get deported before illegal Latinos. Yes, they will. But I think while they stay over here, they're still going to get stuff, I mean, even just 30 to 60 days in the shelter, how many homeless people can say that they got that? And it's not just a shelter where it's a cot where you have to leave at 5 a.m. There's amenities there. So even with that, Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And I'm skipping down, so forgive me. I just want to catch up. And King Buck, wow, how you doing? Emily says those people hoist a guy with white skin and stringy hair and call him Jesus. They can't tell me nothing, not even the time of day. Absolutely. Man, Scott, how you doing? He says, I Can't believe they're trying to get something before us. That's cold-blooded. I can believe it. Think about it. You hear there's a place that's giving out shelter, money, and all kind of benefits. Hell, in California, they're gonna be spending about $6 billion a year, making sure that migrants, no matter what their status is, get health care. Wouldn't you come to a place like that? I could believe it. What I can't believe, though, is in all this time that we as Black Americans are still trying to get on code. I know some of us are, but for as many of us that are here, it's still a losing battle. You got some people who want to vote for oppression. You got some people who don't care. It's a lot going on. But I get it. Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. How you doing? Easy says, enjoy the first class flight back to your country. Oh, y'all salty. Tito, he says, yes, let them feel it. Okay, skipping down. And Donovan says, welcome to the party, pal. Yes, indeed. Ashanine says, yes, the homeless have to follow the rules. They absolutely do. All right, so let me see who else is on here. Chris Cross, how you doing? Says, Black Americans have to go through a legal process system to live in America. Yeah, but nobody else doesn't. Even the migrants over here that have done it right, they're waiting for citizenship and all of that. They're like, wait a minute. How they get to skip the line? What about us? There's some of them who've been trying to get citizenship 15, 20 years or so. And now they get to see other migrants come over. It's like, I'm here. Just got here last week and I'm already, set up. So, yeah. And let's see here. Let me skip down. George, how you doing? Says, what about the measles outbreak? I haven't heard much about that. Heard a little bit, but is it like an ongoing thing now? And by the time 103 says, Demetra, Big Tooth, you crazy. Big Tooth Eric Adams is is he? Y'all know I don't like that word now, but y'all saying he's an immigrant. Okay. Well, but then if he's an immigrant, you would think, he's obviously a Black one, right? You think he'd be helping his people. So what's going on with that? Mindful Moments, it says, my issue is don't come here and be hateful and go against us and causes trying to get a pat on the head. Yeah, that ain't gonna work because again, Black Americans, we are the blueprint for everything, right? So if you need some help with something, we the ones. I had an older Asian cat tell me years ago, he tells his people all the time, don't be coming over here acting crazy with Black Americans. He said, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have what we have. So we don't have a right to be trying to, act crazy with them and talk bad about them and look down on them. He said it's because of them and the fight that they have gone through, the time that they've been, basically on the plantation, that we have what we have. So I'm like, yeah, you better keep telling them. And let's see. Brooklyn Bandit says, the best thing that I can say is at least the Africans aren't committing crimes. See, I said something. Yeah, and a lot of them aren't, and there's some people who are. But the other thing is you're demanding something from a government that is not yours. You're demanding something from taxpayers. Y'all pay taxes? I pay taxes. In fact, I just did my taxes. I was like, I got to pay taxes. But nevertheless, I pay taxes. Y'all pay taxes, and shouldn't that be going to you? Not even just, African immigrants, but look at all the money they're sending overseas. That makes me angry. That Biden is in the Congress, really, sending all that money overseas to help fight wars. And most Americans don't even agree with that, right? But that's our money going overseas. But yet, there's people here who got to struggle. They got to figure out housing because housing is through the roof, like literally, right? Food, gas, and just everyday living. People just cannot do it anymore. But yet we're watching them fly checks everywhere else but here. And he got the nerve to ask Americans to put him back in office. It's crazy. All right, so let's see who else came on here. Carolina Travels, what's going on with you? Says, love your show. Thank you. Says, this is Pamela. I know who you are. Says, from Florida and Frito-Lay, rather. And Rancho Cucamonga. Y'all know I always talk about me working at Frito-Lay. He says, I sent you a DM, check when you can. Okay, will do. And Brother Samuel says, it seems after watching Netflix, surely that the powers that be, and I still need to watch that, are seeing it for a Black female to be president, or setting us up, I think it meant, for a Black female to be president, and making it seem as a victory that the white feminists support. That's a good way of thinking of it, because you know that Shirley Chisholm was the first Black woman to run for president, was in like 1972. Says she was unbossed, unbothered, and unbought. But that's a good point. Why now, right? I'm going to check that out, but I think you're on to something. OWU, how you doing? He says, after living in Africa for some years and growing up with Africans in the USA, I saw and heard a lot. Africans older, about 35 years of age and older, are jealous and travel against Black Americans. But it's like, why? What have we done to you? Like, what have we done to anybody? We've literally done nothing to nobody, right? But people hate us. And listen, I get it. Black Americans are dope and dynamic. Yes, we are. I get it. But we've done nothing to nobody. Really, all we've tried to do since we were freed, reluctantly, right, off that plantation, is just try to survive, try to make it in every way, shape, and form. But everybody want to hate on us. It's crazy, you know. And Damon says, what's the current status in Haiti? You know, it's so funny. I was talking to my daughter about that. I says, wow, we haven't heard much about it. What's barbecuing them up to over there? Because, you know, that's the gang leader is what they tell us, by the name of Barbecue, who was over there demanding a better government or something like that. But no, we haven't heard much about it at all. So I think I'm going to check into that. But good question. Hello, love. How you doing? It says, they don't like us. They see us through the eyes of white people. Right. They watch the news and, you know, think, oh, okay, cool. All right. So I'm for real going to catch up, y'all. I'm sorry. And G Scott, how you doing? It says, hold your own hazelnuts, you crazy. And I will catch up. So don't nobody get mad. You didn't see my comment. I just want to acknowledge everybody else. So Michael Washington, how you doing? Says, people from the continent of Africa that should be awake. A wake-up call. There's racism in America. This is not your average village. Okay. Beverly says 990 might be a good lottery number. Thanks, Demetra. That's what my grocery bill was yesterday. $99.90. I was like, and I really didn't get much. I swear I didn't. It's crazy. But the average now is about $100 a week, just for two of us, right? Me and my daughter. And we don't even eat a lot. I don't even eat 3 times a day. I eat one meal, one big meal, and then I eat like something in the morning, maybe give or take something small, and like some fruit at night. That's pretty much what I'm having. And it's $100 a week. Tito says 3 or 4 bags for $100 is a lot where I'm at. Yeah, it might be. Samuel C says, I respect any immigrant coming to the United States the right way and not illegally, like these illegals in New York City and everywhere else. Absolutely. Joanne, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, so the Crips and the Bloods have lost the street corners to the migrant gang. You reap what you sow. Wow. Okay. And welcome back. Let's see. Lance says gas and home prices are outrageous. Yep. Georgia says, I don't know where it is in Zambia or Zanzibar. They have good, high quality farm products for us to buy, and everybody get in on it. Okay. Corey says, believe me, some of our people will still vote Democratic Party. You know this. I mean, if you see online and anywhere, you see Black people arguing with other people who say, what's his name? Judge Mathis. He was saying something about Republicans getting rid of Black businesses or something like that, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I'm still not voting for Biden. Do you know? A lot of people came from my head, oh, you a Trumper, blah, 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 blah. And guess what I said? I still ain't voting for Biden. But yeah, some people will, unfortunately. And your average logical thinker says inflation is real. Absolutely. Every time I spend like I used to end up in the negative. It's crazy. Crystal, how you doing? Says they see us as lazy. And for what? Black Americans are some of the hardest working people ever. We are. I think our disappointment is getting confused for laziness. We're just disappointed, you know. Lillian says local people, I don't want it explained down ballot above. Comment D. Okay, so did I miss your comment? I'm sorry. I'm really trying to catch up. But for what I understand, voting down ballot means, so say you're a Democrat, you're going to vote everybody Democrat all down. I don't know how well that works. Brina, how you doing? Let's see. Alan, how are you? Says, meanwhile, them folks passed a $95 billion aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Yep, they surely did. JW, how you doing? He says, Black First Canada. All right now. And let's see. Bro Good says, I hate to say it, but do not help these Africans take their resources. He says they come to this country and before you know it, they're going to have more than you because of your tax dollars. Stop the madness. Right. I agree. Stop voting for the party of people who allow that, not just them, but all the other migrants to come over here and get what should be yours. Black people have been asking for reparations since our ancestors have been freed off of the plantations, and we have yet to get it. We're given every excuse in the book. We ain't got it. I'll be damned if I'm made to feel responsible for what my ancestors did 300 years ago. That was Biden. Kamala, no, I'm not going to just do anything for black people now. So we get that, but then we see everybody else getting help, and they talking about black Americans. Oh, y'all just want a handout. It was like, well, what you think they getting? The migrants are getting stuff. That's a handout. What they do to earn that? They ain't putting 1 penny in over here. But that's not a handout. Make it make sense, right? So, all right, I'm gonna skip down. Pop, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're gonna come in here and behave. You was on one a couple of days ago. The average logical thinker says, we want easy. Yes, indeed. Enlighten. How you doing? It says, Demetri, your hairstyle is beautiful and your makeup is flawless. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is my summer go-to. It is, I pat it down real low and stuff because when it's hot, the afro ain't gonna work. So I'll just shrink it up and but thank you. Emmy says, we are the main line. White supremacy has nothing without a government and police. Yes, indeed. Brooklyn says, I asked one of them in the chat on another video, why does he want to come here? And he said, because I can get welfare. So I told him, please stay in his homeland. Well, is he lying? He can, you know. JW says, there is a white preference for migrants. Not all black folks seem to grasp this. Oh, no, trust me, I know. But why don't they know? JJ says, black American leadership has been in the toilet since the late 60s. That's the problem. You are absolutely right. Sonny, how you doing? Peace to you as well. Only Logical, what's going on? He said, that's a lie. And I'm sorry, because I'm trying to catch up. I don't even know what that is anymore. LL, how you doing? Big hugs to you as well. All right, I'm going to skip down. Hello, Lovey says, what about us? Was them black people being chased down by them officers and horses? So those were the Haitians, talking about in Texas a couple years back when they had the lassos and all that other stuff. Yeah, those are Haitians, and they got sent back. Brother Samuel says, blacks from the motherland and blacks called Mexicans are often fed stereotypes about blacks in America, so it will be hard for God's chosen to unite with self. Totally agree with you, because they believe the hype, unfortunately, like we the boogeyman. And Brina says, absolutely going to me. Okay. And Easy says, Africans are committing crimes here. That's a flat out lie. He says, yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it like that. Georgia says, are you guys censoring me on African Diaspora News, or is it YouTube? Why would we be censoring you? I don't know. You know, there's like almost 1.8 million subscribers on African Diaspora News. So it'd be hard for me to know. Sure, it'd be hard for Brother Phil to know, anybody else. So, but why would you say that if you don't mind me asking? G Scott, you say, hold your own out, you're crazy. Negroes, it says, their countries have failed them too, though much like our country has failed us. Yeah, but then again, too, you think about somewhere like South Africa. What I understand, they're having an election soon, but they keep voting in the party just like we do over here in America, voting in a party that's not good for them. They got the ANC in there, and the ANC is for everybody else. The last time I heard, I don't know if it's still true, they had a Chinese woman sitting on the consulate, or the parliament rather. They got a Chinese woman sitting up there. You know, you got the white South Africans that own most of the wealth. It's like less than 10% of them, and like 90% of Africans, black Africans. But yet they vote for a party who was just like, well, we're going to do something. But they don't. They do it all for the people who own most of the wealth. So, you know, their country has failed them, but they're helping the country fail. You got the EFF over there in South Africa like, hey, give us the ball. Let us try. But they won't even let them try. They keep, you know, hopefully they'll be successful this time around, but it's kind of our own fault. We keep voting for oppression. It's like, why do we do that? You know? William say, I feel nothing. Okay. Sherry Wright, how you doing? Only Logical, he says, if migrants are such an issue, why do so many black have children by Mexicans? Oh, I don't know. Deshaun, how you doing? He says, they won't even fix the roads. The roads in California are terrible. Hey, come here to Houston. Come to Houston. There's potholes so big. It's like you would drop down to China. That's how deep some of those potholes are. And it's like, I wonder how many people's front ends have just been completely just torn off by these potholes. It's like, what the hell is going on here? You know? But yeah, California has some bad ones as well. JW says, part of the problem is black migrants are unaware, uninformed about North America's system of racism, past and present. I think they're aware, but they think it in terms of us and not them. Oh, it's happening to them. But it won't happen to us because they like us, because in some cases they feel like they are the superior Black, right? We're not like them. Because as somebody said, they do engage in a lot of tribalism and they have a lot of unity because they're not disjointed like Black Americans are, right? We are disjointed from our original culture, whatever that was, before our ancestors put on a plantation. And so they only see racism in terms of them, not us. But now they come over here and get a rude awakening. So Mindful Moments, it says first generation Asians 40 and above are xenophobic, especially in California, but they won't touch on that. Speaking from personal experience, worse experience with them than white folks in Northern California. Yeah, some of them could be very austere. But they also have that ideology about Black people. You know, I think it was one of Japan's presidents years ago said, Black people infest America like cockroaches. So if he's thinking that, what you think they people think? So Joanne says, for the Africans, hating on us is witchcraft. Okay. Gary Johnson, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Art, how you doing? He says, assalamu alaikum, my sister, and wa alaikum salam to you as well. Enlighten, he says, these illegal immigrants is coming to a house that is already built, that all they have to do is move in without having to put in any labor for its building. You better believe it. And who built that house? We did. Donovan says, Haiti, the Dominicans are building that wall faster. So are they really? Because I just thinking you're joking. Donovan saying he's going to go over there and get a firsthand account of what's going over there in Haiti and the DR. Be careful, brother. OWU, he says, historically in all nation states, whenever there is an oppressed group of people, they never get equality or justice if the same regime of people remain in power. Yeah, you got to switch it up sometimes. Gary says, I can't understand people coming here illegally and making demands. They have to hold their own, you know. Georgia says, so you're talking to Mindful Moments. And Keisha says, geez, we have to watch every penny. Yep, every penny. I know I am. Georgia says, Dimitri, YouTube is censoring me talking about Ukraine. But see, let me say, y'all know that depending on what you say, because this platform is still them folks. So I know that we want to be free with what we say, but if we want to, until we get on our own platform, see, that's part of the problem too, right? I would love to be on other platform. And let me do a plug real quick. African Diaspora News Channel has an app. How many of y'all have signed up for that app? How many? So until we really put a lot of effort into our own platforms that are just for us, then we gonna have to be closed mouth a lot when it comes to these other platforms, because there's things that we cannot say. So that's probably why you're being censored. So you might want to try to figure out what exactly you're saying about Ukraine that the comments are getting censored. Richard, how you doing? He said, enough of the defeatist talk. I agree with you. What do you want to talk about? And Samuel says, hey, Dimitri, I paid $120 at Walgreens for some cold medicine products last week. One word, inflation. Yeah, and you probably wouldn't pay nowhere near that a year ago even, right? Everything is going up. I mean, like everything. It is bananas. Brooklyn says, during the pandemic, eggs cost $8 a dozen. Yeah, I don't really eat eggs as much, but I heard. And Georgia says, okay, so you're talking to somebody else. United States American President 48th. How you doing? It says, when you leave your country to come to America, make sure you have something waiting for you on the other side of yeah, but just coming over here and saying, I'm here, take care of me, put me up at the Roosevelt Hotel, because the Roosevelt Hotel is commandeered with migrants now, and it's cost like $250 a night to stay there. So they're getting accommodations, and good accommodations on top of that. So I agree with you. Be coming over here with some plans already, but don't just stake your claim on the sidewalk and say, now you got to take care of me. Damien says, we can't talk shish about Ukraine. I guess Israel is next. No, you can't talk about that like that. You just can't. But until we get our own platform up and running, then y'all know the story. It's just, we can complain about it or we can do something about it. Get the African Diaspora News Channel app. Jermaine, how you doing? Says, I always remember how Black Wall Street was destroyed and what that was all about. Yeah, we've been struggling ever since. And I know, the white supremacists, they did that to us, right? But we don't stop trying. We got to keep trying. We got to do something. What do? We just say, well, forget it. We're never going to build again. We have to do something. We have a $1.7 trillion coming into the Black American community every year, and we give 97% of that away. That's a us problem. You know, we need to start building some things that would allow us to keep our money within our community more. Every other community, I bet you even African communities, I bet you their dollar don't leave. Let's talk about here in America. I bet you their dollars don't leave their communities like Black American dollars, because they got grocery stores and all kind of stuff specifically to them, especially somewhere like here in Houston. Now I'm from California. I will see like an African store or two, nothing like here. They got a lot of stores, and so they never have to go to HEB or Kroger's, California, Rouse, Stater Brothers, nothing like that. They can go to their own thing. So we need to do the same. Damon, okay, so I read that. And Quita, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Skipping on down, and Keisha, how you doing? Let's see here. I'm gonna get to you guys' comments once again. And God of the universe, how you doing? Says it wasn't 300 years ago. It was less than 170 years ago since we were so-called free. That was a direct quote from that of Joe Biden when he was a senator, when he was talking about not wanting to pay reparations. So that was his words, not mine. And let's see. Oh, thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. JW says, you look a bit like Queen Nina Simone, just a tad. You know what? You're about the 100th person that's told me that. So I look like Nina Simone. And I've also heard Bahamadia. So I don't know. Maybe we're related. Well, we all are to some degree, right? All right, so let's see. Brene says, and they're going to send it back home, or we spend the money right here and put it back into the economy. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. And Jay, how you doing? Sooty man, what's going on with you? Joanna says, that's why they are making sure you are in gaining your taxes, your own taxes, because the migrants are spending it. So line up between them and Ukraine. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, vote them out. They're sending our money away, you know. Sanchez, how you doing? Says Black immigrants already crying racism. I thought Black immigrants were favorable over Black Americans. They love to separate themselves from us, claiming their ethnicity over race first. I feel nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but they kind of put themselves in that position with us. You can't keep, as I say, kicking us in the tailbone and then say, oh, I'm sorry, come help me. Come help me. I need your help with something. It's like, well, yeah, you know, you've been sticking it to me. You tried to anyway. Just hating on me for absolutely no reason. And now you come over here, as like Donovan says, and you getting all that the white man has to offer, and you don't want that. Now you want us to help you. G, it says it's sad when you have family who tries to shame you when you say you're not voting Democrats. Yeah, they just refuse to wake up, and there's nothing we can do about it. But we just keep talking to the people who want to listen, right? Because as Donovan said, 31% of Black people are saying they're not going to vote for Joe Biden, and Kamala's put them together because we know if he step on a banana peel one good time, Kamala going to be in the White House. But because we are talking to our people and waking them up slowly, that's making a big difference. So if that indeed turns out to be the case in November, that Black people really don't show up the way that we have in the past for the Democrats, we can thank us, all of us, for keep talking to people until they listen. Apollo says, this is history repeating itself. They have done this for Europeans in the 1700s, Irish 1800s. Okay, Tito says, I just don't understand Africans. I get it. Let's see. Keisha says the infrastructure is a huge problem everywhere in America. Oh my God. Yes, it's crazy. Ramen, how you doing? He says the immigrants that come here are the worst of their society. They can't make it in their own countries, and white missionaries give them money to come here. As a result, they love and worship them. I have heard that. I have heard that theory. I don't know if they're the worst or the worst. Some of them, in all fairness, regardless where they come from, they do. Some of them are fleeing political prosecution or destabilization of their governments and things like that. And the other thing is, a lot of times America has a hand in the destabilization of those governments. And so they are fleeing, for better opportunities and stuff. But there's a lot of them that's not. So Damon says, saw the report where an African country sold 20% of their land to UAE corporation. That doesn't surprise me at all. I wouldn't doubt it. Brenda says the Chinese is the biggest threat everywhere. They are sneaking in here and buying up the land from us, up under us. The Black farmers are starting to suffer. Yeah, the Black farmers have been suffering for a long time. I'm asking a whole bunch of administrations, hey, what about us? You guys are leaving us out. Why white farmers are getting stuff, but black farmers are not. And it's sad. But again, you know, we need to vote for people, whoever that may be, that's going to say, I hear you. Here's a check, you know. And KD44 Kane, how you doing? Says blacks run this. Yes, indeed. But we need to do it more so, right? It's one thing to say it, but we really, really need it. I agree with you. Black people have a lot of power. Unfortunately, we don't use it for our benefit. We use it to benefit everybody else, but we got to turn that around. So I agree with you. Crystal, you say Biden represents foreign governments and ABC community, to say the least. Keisha says Donovan better stay away from that wall before he ends up on the wrong side of it. For real, for real. Yeah, okay. That's what I told him. They might think you Haitian. Like, how you get over here? Georgia says, Demetra, check out the daily news. I'm sorry, he says, check out True Daily News. And is that a specific site or just the news in general? Because trust me, I see more news than I care to. Some of it is just, I wish that I didn't. And Iron Will, how you doing? He says, definitely have the app. Yay. Easy say, get your own platforms. Yeah, I'm just saying. There's black platforms out there, and we reluctantly go over there. On our own apps, we can get froggy if we want, say what we want to, but over here it's like, oh, you know, we got to be a little closed mouth a little bit. And it's unfortunate because while they say, oh, we're all inclusive, say something about the wrong people and see how inclusive they really are. They're not. Donovan says, no joke, the civil war in Haiti has made Dominica to build the wall faster so that the violence does not spill over. I get it, because when we were over there, in fact, they were protesting. They being Dominicans, like, they didn't want the Haitians going over there. This is our resources. They coming over here getting our resources. It's not fair. All of that, right? It was a big protest. So I don't doubt it, Donovan. Marcella, how you doing? Says, I'm here. Take care of me. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm skipping down and I'm going to catch back up. Damon, he says, as Dr. Claude Anderson, Damon Bynum, how you doing? He says, as Dr. Claude Anderson has said, these other groups like the illegals are leeches to the black community. They come for free, bunch of liars and fleers, pull up summer. It is about to be summertime, ain't it? Georgia says the problem with African immigrants is that they could fool first generation, but second and third, they are writers and they know they get down as they say, so they are bad investment. All right. Donovan says a bunch of Ukrainians here in DR and they are laughing because our tax dollars are going into their pockets and they have no desire to fight for their homeland. I don't doubt it. Let's see. Naomi, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Nope, you're right on time. And Enlightened says the only African country that has a welfare program for its people is South Africa. Yeah, I know when we were there, I don't know if it's part of the welfare program, but all of them had satellites. Even if they lived in what they call shanties, like the little tin houses, they all had satellites to watch TV. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Okay. Georgia says California's black. Californians lost their fort. They totally giving in, got lazy, and prefer to go to other people's stores. Yeah, California was less than 6%. Black population is getting less and less and less. Unfortunately, only a few black people are going to only be afford to live there. It's hard to live in California. It's one of the most expensive places to live. So, beautiful son, how you doing? Says they come over here and start businesses catering to themselves and will not attempt to speak our language. Yeah, I told y'all one time I went into an African grocery store last year sometime, and I've never been in one, not a full-fledged grocery store. So me and my daughter went in there to see what it was about. They didn't speak to us. And you know who they had working there? Themselves and Mexicans. In fact, they had a big giant picture, big, it's huge, on the wall like a company photo. And it was them and Mexicans. That's it. I said, oh, that's interesting. Okay. See, even they don't hire Black Americans, but they'll hire everybody else. So pay attention to that kind of stuff. Hello, Love, you says, the faster we get married and combine incomes, the better. Ooh, child. That's a whole different conversation. You would think, right? Because as they say, two can go farther than one. But that's another thing. That's a point of contention in the Black community is Black men and women just will not make it work. Other communities, as I tell y'all, I listen to Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it. He says we don't always get along either or like each other that much, but we be like, hey, and then this is, Asian people, shut your mouth. We working toward a goal. We gonna wash, rinse, repeat, and shut your mouth. Okay. I don't care if you're mad because they're taking 5 minutes too long in the bathroom when there's 20 of us in this house. Shut your mouth, wait your turn, go in there, go to work, bring the money back so we can build. That's what they be on. Us, I just can't live in a house with anybody. I don't know them like that. I just need, all that other stuff. And it's like, knock it off. Yeah, everybody know you living a quiet life of desperation, trying to pay that high-ass mortgage car note, put food on the table, and you're struggling, but you're pretending on the internet that you got it like that. But it would be easier for you to have somebody up in that big old giant house you're struggling to pay for and build some wealth. But like I said, I agree with you. Black men and women should try to get together, but, it's a lot. It really is. Marcella says too many old people is running this country, not just America, but other countries as well. Yep, they won't give up the ghost. And I'm not talking about going up the glory. I'm just saying, give up power. Oh, man, Jesus, how you doing? He says that is completely false. What are you talking about? And I'm going to try to get to your comment so I can see what you're talking about. All right, let me skip down for real. Candy says some people just want to stay on the Democratic plantation. Too bad, so sad, right? Sally, how you doing? Says sounds like they drank too much of the Kool-Aid when they when they think America was going to treat them right and fair when it doesn't treat us fair, right and fair. Exactly. Like, how did you come to that conclusion that they were going to treat you better? And Jason, how you doing? Says that's Africans complaining in New York City, Caribbeans, blacks live in the hood for years, face police brutality, racism. We know the deal. And, we're not even talking about the migrants that are supposed to be here, right? We know New York is a melting pot, right? There's all kind of black immigrants from everywhere that's supposed to be there, right? They are there legally. We talking about the ones that have just gotten there talking about, help me. And if you don't, it's like, oh, well, you anti-black. It's like, nah, not so fast, homie. That's our term. You cannot, nah. Just like you can't use the term reparations over here for you. You can't use the term anti-blackness over here because you don't, up until it happens to you. When I say you, I'm talking about some of the, black immigrants. You didn't think anti-blackness was a thing. But now that it's happening to you, anti-blackness. So we will thank you. We want to keep our term if that's all right with y'all. Y'all come up with your own term, Let's see. And Joanne says, it's truly sad all these people will triumph in their color, ethnicity instead of humanity. Yep, because that's what it's really about, right? Humanity. JJ says, many black immigrants are told by immigration officials to stay away from black Americans. All right, do that. PA, how you doing? Says, bringing in third world criminality and become the third world where criminality reigns supreme. Yeah, it's getting bad over here from just all walks. Y'all see, I think it was in Memphis where there was a mass shooting. I think it was 2 people who were killed and like 16 other people shot. It was just gunfire just going for like a minute or so. That was crazy. So things are really becoming unhinged here in America. Keisha says, the Democrats have consistently shown themselves not to be our allies. Neither are the Republicans. We must do a thing and build it consistently from scratch. I totally agree. We got to, get everybody on the same page, but I totally agree with you. And Easy says, infrastructure in America takes a backseat to Israel. Man, those potholes are crazy. And not even the potholes. I mean, there's bridges, there's all kind of stuff that just needs work. And it's like, yeah, we're getting to it, right? They passed the infrastructure bill, but they didn't pass it without giving a whole lot of money to other countries. Yes, indeed. And Maria, how you doing? Greetings to you as well. Monica, what's going on with you? Says, hi, Demetra. What's Biden's doing flooding U.S. with illegals? Canada did covertly over 10 years via work permits. We're now what U.S. will look like soon as citizens are being squeezed out of jobs and homes. Yep, we are. But what are we going to do about it? JW says, I'm thinking about the future generations of Black youth workers who are going to be pushed out, which is why we got to get up off it and stop being so distracted and divided over nonsense. Like I said, there's this rat beef going on. It's like, who gives a rat's? Who really cares? But apparently people care. Ramen, he says, I download the African Diaspora News app. Yay! Keep downloading, people. The more of y'all over there, then the less time we have to spend over here. I promise you. Georgia says pretty soon they're going to be censoring you on your platform. That's why I'm very careful as to what I say. There's certain ways I have to word stuff and say things because I know that they do that. So I try to fly below the radar, which is why I try not to. There's certain things I like to talk about, I just can't because I know that to be true. Trust me, I do. I'm gonna skip down, you guys. Let's see. Marcelli says, girl, I know every time I hear you, I'm always preparing dinner for the week. It takes me all day to cover my vegetables for the week and a half. Tonight, a spaghetti salad and cheese toast. Sounds amazing. It really does. Maria, he says, I'm confused. I thought migrants were those that follow the crops to the agriculture industry. These people are not migrants. They are immigrants, illegal. Africans are not migrants. Well, that's one of the things that we kind of have to say for algorithm's sake. We know what they are, but migrant is more palatable. You know what I mean? So, Barry, how you doing? It says, without Donovan, he said this show is lackluster. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Sparkling for Jesus, how you doing? And Easy says, D, with all the anti-blackness going on and others buying up everything, what is our recourse for Black Americans? Again, we have $1.7 trillion that's coming into our community every year, but we give 97% of that away. That's our answer. Stop doing that. What do we need? And a lot of that goes to clothing, hair, and just a lot of stuff that we really don't need, right? So we're more of a consumeristic community, more of a want base instead of need base. So we can switch that around and then start building. Then that's how we can correct these things. And it's not a new idea. Marcus Garvey has said it. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it. Farrakhan is saying it. Dr. Claude Anderson. Everybody's saying it. But, we think there's going to be some magical happen and all of a sudden it's going to take place. No, it's going to be on us. We the people, he says, Black First Code, like Brother Phil suggests, register to vote, refuse to participate in this year's election, or go ahead and vote for Trump if having withdrawals. Yeah, I definitely agreed that you should register. That way they know how many people did what, right? Agreed. Now, how you doing? It is my pleasure and welcome. And let's see here. Jason, he says, Africans say to themselves in New York City, Black Americans and Caribbeans are intertwined. I hear Africans say they don't like Caribbean people. It's like, what is going on? But again, that's a lot of tribalism that is brought over here. Mindful Moments, she says, others don't get online and trash each other. We used to know better. Yep, it's all we do. I try not to participate in that because it's a trap, actually. It's a trap. Probably those folks are using the puppet strings and we just fall in line. We fall for every bit of division. And so I try not to do that. Let's see. Marcella said it really hurts because we did have Black Wall Street and they will come to our neighborhood just to have a good time. Every time we try to build something, they come in and either burn it down. Yep, but we keep trying, right? Enlightened says, not all of Haiti is in turmoil, just Port-au-Prince, the capital city. You even have nice resorts that cater to the wealthy, the rich. Non-Blacks are living good. Yeah, I heard about that. There are places where them folks are and they're doing just fine, right? So absolutely. Quita says, I was in a house with 16 family members, child. I don't ever want that anymore. So much disrespect. 16 is a lot, but we got to make it work somehow. I agree 16 is a lot of people, but them people do it and they do it effortlessly until it's just a few of them in the house and then they do it all over again. Donovan says, married, single motherhood was a failure. And these Keishas, watch it now, still rather go it alone. They're proving Tommy Sotomayor right. Anytime we quote Tommy Sotomayor, my ears just shut off. Because Tommy Sotomayor hate his mama. Therefore, he hates himself. And of course, he gonna hate Black women. I mean, I'm just saying. God of the universe says Mexicans and Asians live 10 people in one house with one joint bank account to build up their credit and wealth. You better believe it. But us, I'm not sharing no bank account. All right. But then you're going to ask me for some money, though. Okay. Now it says they think they'll be treated better because they think they are better than Black Americans. Huge mistake. Yep. Keisha says others show love and loyalty to one another, but the residue of slavery and colonialism is constant, clear, and present danger in the Black community. Yep, we are still suffering from that, and we don't get it. We participate in it more and more every day instead of saying, okay, this was done to us, but we need to figure out how to undo it, right? As Dr. Joy DeGruy said, we are not well people, and that's due to the horrors that our ancestors endured in slavery, and we are still enduring those, right? There's a lot of remnants of that left over, and we just haven't learned how to heal, if you will. 8-ball side pocket, what you doing? He says, with $1 US equals $16.96 in pesos and $58.94 in Dominican pesos. A minimum wage job here is 10 times. They're sending every dollar back home and literally becoming rich. It's a conversion currency hustle. Conversion rather, currency hustle. Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And Candy says, my cousin campaigns hard for Biden and Sheila Jackson Lee. She stopped talking to me because I said I wasn't voting for them. She'll understand eventually when she sees that neither one of them cared anything about her, right? I'll tell you a story. I mean, if not really a story, but really like if Sheila Jackson Lee cared about Black people, what is she in her 70s? What is she still doing? What ideas do you have that you haven't used 9,000 years ago when you first got elected? What are you going to say now that no one's heard? What, you're going to do something differently? So I'm the generation under Sheila Jackson Lee. My daughter's generation, she's 31. It should be them now that's in those offices. But Sheila Selfish Jackson Lee is going to run for another term to do what? And I hear these, the commercials and stuff on the urban radio stations, and your Ricky Smileys and all of them talking about, oh, Trump this, Trump that, we need to get it. But it's like, y'all never say what the Democrats are doing for Black people. You always talk about what Trump is or is not doing, but you never say what they're doing. And so when you think about somebody like Sheila Jackson Lee, she's a selfish human being. And I'm going to say this, and y'all can get mad at me if you want to. Anybody that's supporting her, campaigning for her, you are just as selfish. And I have another S word for you that I ain't going to say, but y'all can fill in the blanks. All right. It starts with an S, ends with a D. That's what you guys are, because you guys only care about yourself. You don't care about Black people. Sheila's been in there, since the 90s? How has she moved the ball for Black people in her district in Houston? How? Maybe I don't know because I'm an implant. Maybe I'm missing something, but she's in her upper 70s and she's still trying to hold on to the power. Shame on her. So Arson, how you doing? Thank you. He says, just came in, but I see Donovan isn't there at all this week. I'll comment again as I understand the subject. So Donovan is on his way to Sasua in the DR, but he's in the comment section. All right. Dwayne, how you doing? Says no cash reparations, no Black vote, period, up or down ballot. November 2024, they're getting a taste of true Babylon America, like FBA always says. Yes, indeed, and welcome, Alan. He says everyone wants to be Black until it's time to be Black. 2024, where the truth is more disturbing than a lie. You better preach. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna skip down because God knows I'm behind. Okay, Willie, how you doing? Says I don't feel sorry for beggars at all. The government don't help the Black Americans, people born and raised in America. So be it. Yep, absolutely. Okay. And Damon, he says Flint, Jackson, Mississippi, and Wyoming, West Virginia are straight up effed up. Reverse osmosis won't help. Do tell. And Keisha says, hi, Dimitri. Did you hear about Biden signing over our sovereignty to the World Health Organization? I'm hearing that Biden plans to bypass the Congress like Obama did in the past. This is most disturbing indeed. So I have not heard that. Haven't heard anything about it. Let's see here. And the other Keisha says, I like the show. What is Donovan talking about? He just wants to start stuff. We miss you, Donovan. Come home safe. Y'all know Donovan. It wouldn't be Donovan if y'all know how Donovan get down. But yes, come home safe. Maria says, don't believe it, Dimitri. You are doing a marvelous job without Donovan. Oh, miss him though. Yeah. Y'all know that comment, that didn't bother me at all. It's always got to be one. One thing about Demetri K, and I love y'all dearly. Demetra K know who she is. But I thank y'all for the support and reinforcement. But yeah, that doesn't bother me. You know, people are entitled to their opinions. He may really feel that way, but you know, he should come back when Donovan is on. Donovan has a lot of supporters. As you know, I'm glad that he does. So there you have it. Ashanine, thank you so much. No, thank you for being here. Let's see here. Willie says, I don't feel sorry for them at all. So be it. I love my Black American community as do I. No, it's okay. We're going to start. If y'all want to start talking about something else, y'all can. I'm going to skip all the way down to the bottom so I can catch up. Let's see here. I am chosen. How you doing? Says One Love Willie. Yes, indeed. And Dwayne says, okay, so y'all talking to somebody else. Mindful Moment. She said, I never buy anything I don't absolutely need, only spending on necessities. Everything else gets saved and invested. I would love to spend more with a Black community. Yep. That's why we need to build more. Just one, like Houston. I've never been anywhere, and I'm talking about me personally, lived anywhere where there's been so many Black people. I'm from Southern California, right? So we got Black people there, but we don't have as much as we used to. There's more Black people in the South than anywhere in the country. That being said, I wonder why there's no Black grocery store. Now, listen, there was this one guy when I first moved here. He said he opened up a Black grocery store, right? So everybody's all excited. We go down there, and it's kind of a ways for me, but I'm like, I'm going to go, right? Because when I lived in California, I would travel to Los Angeles and all kind of other places to do Black stuff. So I get there, and it's not a grocery store at all. It's like deodorant, oils, bars of soap, which is cool, you know, if you need that stuff. But I'm like, no, I need some fruits and vegetables, you know, and other stuff like that. So it was like a nightclub, and he turned it into a grocery store. I don't even know if the man is still there, but I'm like, there should at least be one fully fledged grocery store that's Black owned in Houston. I, for the life of me, don't get it. There's a lot of restaurants, hookah bars, and God knows wherever else, right? If you want to go party, go eat somewhere, there's a lot of Black stuff like that. But the grocery store is what we need. We need the schools. We need a hospital. We need those things. So absolutely. All right. Skip down so I could catch up. And I know I said that like 30 minutes ago. Alonzo says we had 200 or so towns like Black Wall Street, that were destroyed by them folks. Yeah, we only hear about Black Wall Street, but there's so many of them, including here in Texas, Slocum, Texas. That's one of them. So there's just many of them. Lake Lanier, that was a Black town that's literally underneath that lake. And I heard that they were making an amusement park or something. You know what? I'm going to talk about that. Let me write that down. An amusement park or water park there at Lake Lanier is like, really? Okay. Your average logical thinker says, I don't think it's right to discriminate against the African immigrants versus the Latinos, but us Blacks cannot help them before we help ourselves first. It's just common sense, right? Ramin, he says, as a people, we are better off during Jim Crow because we knew where we stood with them folks. Since integration, we think it's all good. We have forgotten where we stand. I totally agree with you. Hello, love. He says, how can a Black person get greater than a Black person without middleman lying? We need to stop inviting everybody, first of all, to the picnic, the cookout. We need to start gatekeeping what's ours. We don't do that at all, which is how we're having that conversation about hip hop. But as I said, the one that can control hip hop is the one that controls the purse strings to hip hop. Yeah, Black Americans, it's ours in theory, but who's making the money from it? It ain't us. So, black Buckhorse, you say, go back home, damn it. God of the Universe says, I'm pan FBA first. Okay. Barry says, why don't you zoom in one of your friends? Because I don't want to. I got plenty of my friends here in the comment section. And unbeknownst to you, and I know you're new, before I have Donovan on here, I was doing a show by myself. So I'm more than capable, okay, of doing this show by myself. But you're here. Just sit with that. Brooklyn says, most of them older politicians don't care about it, the future, because they, you know what? They won't be around here to see it. You got a point, right? They are amassing all the money for themselves. And let's see here. Missouri, how you doing? It says a majority of the people in Congress are from other countries and they won't do anything to get them out of your state. But it's like, why do we keep voting for them? When I say we, I mean black people. Those black politicians couldn't be in office without us, but somehow we keep voting for them. And then, I mean, like, think about it. White people, they don't keep people in office forever if they're not doing anything for them. One thing I say about the white community is if they have a politician that they have sent to Washington, City Hall, whatever, and they don't do the job, they get them out of there. No, you won't, buddy. You won't be up in here 30 years not doing nothing for us. We sent you there to be a service, and now you want us to serve you. No, you got to go. It's us. We keep those politicians in office when they have showed us for 30 years that they have done nothing specifically for us. Sheila Jackson Lee is a part of the Congressional Black Caucus, and their mission statement says helping Black people and other marginalized communities. Why does it say other marginalized communities if you're the Black Caucus? Because you're not. You're just that in name, but you really help everybody else. So I don't know. JW says, yes, Sheila Jackson Lee needs to go. She's saying she gave us Juneteenth holiday. And guess what we do with that holiday? Everybody benefits from that. It's not just Black Americans. Everybody gets that day off. It's a federal holiday, right? Depending on where you live, what state, they may or may not give it to you, whatever. But everybody benefits from that. And Black dollars go into white corporations because your Targets, your Walmarts, and all those big box stores, they, sell Juneteenth, this, that, and the other. And we're going to give them more of our money. So who is that really helping? We got a holiday so we can spend more money. As Neely Fuller Jr. said, we don't need to spend no more money. Black people don't have no reason to really even be celebrating. We ain't moved the ball, but we out there celebrating and spending more money. That's what that's about, which is why, the other thing too is Black people, especially here in like Texas, we're already celebrating Juneteenth. They didn't need the government to give them a holiday or permission to do that. So we need Sheila Jackson Lee is full of it. Hello, Love. He says a marriage will secure a lot for our generations and children, and it's needed now. I totally agree with you. Godspeed. How you doing? He says, I don't see how Black people are Democrats over Republicans at this point. We've got an opt-out of the whole process until we get a bag. Yeah, and re-strategize, right? And Sister B, how you doing? He says, Sheila Jackson Lee and the CBC do not care about ADOS. They are bought and paid for and operate as ops to sabotage, thwart any ADOS progress. Shaking my head. I think I could agree with you on that. And Denise, how you doing? It says, sister, don't read these negative comments from these self-hating buffoons. Sometimes I read them because they, as they say, it's very cliche. That the hateration is the motivation or something like that. But trust me, I have very thick skin. And I always tell people this, don't do this if you have thin skin. Do not do this at all, because any and everything people say to you, it will get to you, right? I don't want to say some things don't get to me. They do. But I knew what I was signing up for when I did this. So people with their comments, and again, that's his opinion if he feels that way. But the other thing too is, I always say for people who don't like what I'm doing, you're more than welcome to have your own show, and I'll come and sit in the comment section. You can do your show the way you want to do it. So there's no love lost here. But yeah, thank y'all. And Georgia says, you saw my last text talking about these new Nokia Obama phones made no sense, right? That's what I'm talking about. They alter your text. Oh, got you. I don't have one of those. I know there's been a lot of conspiracy theories. Oh, they listening to the phones. Well, they can listen to all the phones, regardless if it's an Obama phone or any other phone. And Obama said that during his administration. Yeah, we have the ability to do it. We just don't. Like, sure you don't. Corey says, I'm with you, sis. Tired of these Black women and Black men bashing each other. Yeah, I won't do it. That's not something that I do. And let's see. Skip down. I kind of think I know what Barry is here for. I think Barry is here for the divisiveness, if you will. We're not going to do that. God of the University says we need to keep enlightening our FBA youth in order to have a better future for Black America. I totally agree. We need to start raising our children again and stop, just letting the phones or the TVs or tablets and all that do it. We actually got to be active in that process. Alonzo says we have been rudderless since MLK when he was on the live. Seems that It dismantled our grassroots engine. Black people perceive them as newly independent and slowly migrated away from our society. Okay. Enlighten says, if you don't vote, please stay registered up so you can serve on jury duty to help bring justice to our people. Yes, jury duty is wildly important because, as they say, you'll be judged by a jury of your peers. And if we don't show up, then it won't be our peers. It'll be somebody else who's like, they look like they did it, right? So, and Feet Funkerson, how you doing? Let's see, skip down. Jason says, thanks for reading our comments, Demetria. Oh, it is my pleasure. It is my pleasure. Can y'all imagine me up here talking for almost 2 hours and not reading the comment? I don't even have that much to say. As I always say, I could not do the show without y'all. I could, but it'd probably be like 10 minutes long. If it was up to me. I see some people, right? They could go. And I'm like, damn, how you got that much to say without reading no comments? So that's what I like to do. And Brooklyn says, did you hear Umar number on he did a Umar number on you, Demetria? And who did that? And Denise, you say if we get reparations, it should be land. I heard to start a credit union, you only need 25,000. I heard it was 50,000, so I could be wrong. 250,000, you said. We need a true Black funding for our people. I totally agree with you. But even if it is $250,000, we can't all put that together and start a credit union. I think we could. Shalom to you as well. I am chosen. And Keisha says they refuse to give loans to Black farmers and Black grocery stores. They run them out of business. Yeah, but what about if we were to pool our money together, right? I know loans are important. But if we were to pool our money together and start something, we give a lot of money away to everybody else. Imagine if we were to, I heard if we were to, and my numbers may be wrong, but I think they said 10%, keep just 10% more of the money within our community. We can have a lot of businesses that can hire a lot of people to lessen the unemployment rate in our community. So there's something that we can do, but yes, loans are important. Donice, she said they also put highways through our Black built owned neighborhoods. It's so funny because my daughter and I were driving down the freeway. I don't remember which one exactly. But you see houses that are literally right on the side of the freeway, and the houses are facing the freeway, and they're older houses. And I'm like, now I know daggone well nobody built those houses to face the freeway. Something tells me that those freeways were driven right through a community. I said, so on this freeway, there was probably houses, and the city decided to drive a freeway, highway, whatever it is, through these communities. And a lot of them are, or used to be anyway, Black communities. But I was like, nah, ain't nobody built their house just looking at the freeway as a view. There's no way they did that. Gary, you say we need to help ourselves. Illegal Africans are not our issue. Put ourselves first. You better believe it. Georgia says Black people love one-sided relationships with everybody else. Look at how they treat us in country music, but we welcome them people when they enter R&B and rap. Yeah, we need to remind them country belongs to us. But again, we don't gatekeep. Donovan, you crazy. Talking about I want problems always. We know. Malefactor, how you doing? Let's see. I'm gonna skip down. Judge Drez, how you doing? Dwayne, you say we must develop economic partnership with FBA that we know will follow through with investments like supermarkets. You're talking about we must slowly buy back our communities. We have to. We don't have a choice. Alonzo says an independent grocery store has many barriers of entry to main success. The buying power of the big chains is too great. If we crowdfund and maintain a loyal customer base, we could start a chain. Yeah, I listened to Farrakhan one time. He was talking on I think it was the covenant Tavis Smiley used to have. You remember, the Black America thing he used to have once a year. And I think it was that. And Farrakhan broke it down. He says, we eat bread. And I talk about this all the time. We eat bread, right? Yeah, we eat bread. He says, so why can't we plant the wheat, harvest the wheat, fashion it into bread in a bread factory, sell it to Black people. Black people buy the bread. Now we got a bread factory. So while I know it may seem hard, but our people used to do that. Our people didn't get loans and all that kind of stuff. They had less money than we had. Now I know inflation and stuff, is added in that, but they made it work. So we could do the same thing, I would think. Donovan says Tiffany Henier is an example of poor leadership. Yeah, it sounds like they about to get her up out of there too. I heard the FBI went and raided City Hall, so that can't be good. Gary says we allow Asians to be the face of breakdancing, shaking my head. Yeah. It's like, okay. Valerie says the black vote didn't just place those unless black. See, it said the black vote didn't just place those unless blacks in office, but those Hispanics too. Say, pay attention to whom you are casting that black vote for. And I think your comments, it kind of maybe missed a couple of words, or maybe it's me. Hello Love says we go off history with some white people go off right now. Hey Herschel, how you doing? 8 Ball Side Pocket says the bully will bully those that can bully. We need to stop letting people push us out of communities we are raised in. Get our NIMBY. Another thing too is, you know, from what I understand, especially in Houston, there's a lot of legacy homes, I think they call it. I could be wrong, or inheritance homes or something like that. Basically, a lot of these homes were left to heirs property, I think it's called, left to the heirs from their people who have gone on, like grandma, parents, or whatever. And some of these houses are really nice, but what they're doing is they're selling it to investors or other people. And so there goes the neighborhood, where the black neighborhoods are no more because they're selling them to, you know, to the highest bidder or whatever. So that's another thing we could do, is stop selling it. If we're gonna sell it to somebody who look like you, because that's what those people do. There's some neighborhoods in the neighborhood in every part of America that you as a black person cannot buy from. Now they can't make that a thing publicly, but they got the new bylaws and stuff written. Don't sell it to black people. If you're gonna sell it to somebody that look like you. So we need to start doing that kind of stuff, so we don't get pushed out, right? Macy, how you doing? Says we keep them in office even though they do nothing for us because we have the mentality of skin folk. And which skin folk, right? And Judge Dre says yes, Texas holiday anyway. What y'all celebrating? Yeah, and when I was in California, we celebrated. My mom went to Juneteenth festival. My mom was an author, and so she would teach writing classes, you know, and stuff like that. So we celebrated it there, but it's, you know, a Southern thing. So it was already a thing, but they made it corporate. That's what they did. Polo says Sheila Jackson Lee is not Black American. She's Jamaican. Okay, so I've heard. God of the University says we need to be independent, neither Democrats or y'all got a whole bunch of names. Donovan says CBC is paid for by the Zionist lobby. Yep, all of them are. Avenged Ancestor says, I appreciate all you do, Queen Demetria, and I appreciate you being here. And George says, I'm not talking about they listen. I'm talking about they alter your text. Oh, I got you. I believe it. I totally believe it. I don't doubt it. All right. And Herschel says, unless we happen to disagree. So you say you're with me unless we disagree. Okay. That's okay. Disagreement sharpens us, right? It makes us think. Donovan says Elon Musk and others use your tax dollars to build their companies. Oh, absolutely. Barry says, I'm not divisive of Demetria. I'm a New Yorker. I tell the truth. Okay. People tell the truth all over the country. It ain't just New York. But I'm glad that you tell the truth, as lying is, you know, not a good thing. Denise, you say boycott Steph Curry, Seth MacFarlane, and everyone else who has a hand in the new Good Times remake. Yeah, I saw people trying to talk it up and like, oh, it's not that bad. You got to watch all 10 episodes. It's like, do I really need to watch all 10 episodes before I say this ain't no bull cocker? I don't think I should be able to watch the first one and be like, oh, okay, it's something that I want to watch, but I got to watch all 10. No, thank you. The trailer was enough, because if you wanted people to get a good view of Good Times, you would have showed other than what you showed in that trailer. It's like, I'm good, thank you. Okay, so y'all talking about the tax, and Brooklyn says we should stop asking mom and pop stores for discounts because we don't do that in Macy's and them other folks store. Oh yeah, don't do that, especially to our own people, right? Or can I get a discount? Hell no. Zerai, how you doing? And Alonzo says, believe me, Demetria, we might like Donovan, but you have a whole stable of admirers on this platform who love and respect you and your views. Well, I thank you for that. And trust me, I know it, and it's so appreciated. I'm telling you, I love and appreciate all of you guys. So thank you. And yes, Donovan, thank you for reminding everybody to get the likes up. I don't even know what they look like. Buck horse. Rami says the black man and woman have to reconcile and come together. Let's rise above selfishness. Two incomes are better than one, and we need to produce super children. Absolutely. Absolutely. God in the universe says we want to be tax-free. We want our 40 acres and our checks. Yeah, a mule, a tractor, or something. Donovan crazy. I taught Demetria everything she knows. Okay. Brooklyn says, I love the show. Regardless, salute to Donovan and your brother Walter. Yes, where is Walter? Walter will surprise me every once in a while. He'll text me right before we're going to do Wednesday. What are we talking about? I'm like, you're still with us? Oh, okay. But I appreciate you so much. Donovan says $10 billion collected by the black churches and nothing built in the hood. Nah, they suck all the resources out of the hood and take it to the hills. Y'all remember when the pastor used to live next door in the parsonage? Now there's like, what parsonage? Oh, that's my shoe closet. You know, they don't, now they live outside of the town even, but they have their chauffeur driving to church, you know, every day. Judge said they're about to run a freeway through Houston now, tearing down the hood. I totally believe it. And Hershey said, like the 105 freeway in Los Angeles. Yeah, they've done that to every black community throughout the United States, and they're still doing it. So I just thought that was interesting. Sister B says Adolph's practically have to lie in response to stay on juries on a case that is pertinent to Adolph's. Attorneys will probably look for social media posts to say you're not being honest about your answers. Yeah, they look at my social media and be like, oh, heck no. I would be honest, you know, but they had to do the same thing with the Trump jury. A lot of them got disqualified for being anti or pro and all this other stuff. So especially with the day and age of social media, yeah, you're going to see a lot of things that you don't agree with. So it's going to be harder and harder to find a jury of people who are not influenced unless they just don't have social media or something like that. But it's going to be rare. Easy says we don't gatekeep because of multiculturalism, right? That's what we've been sold. Multiculturalism. Keisha says we would need to start organizations with clear rules and pool our money. That way we would have to enforce the rules the same way across the board. Absolutely. Buckhorse says Queen Bee, Texas rule. Okay. And how you doing, Tammy? I hope you're doing well. And JW says a lot of black communities are being decimated by infrastructure works. Operation Black Removal is in full swing in Toronto. It's everywhere you look. Arsenio says the thing about blacks across the globe is if we take a look at the Jews, no matter where they are on the planet, they never down or discount one another. Support is automatically understood. No, we got to remind each other of that kind of stuff, right? Shop black. Make sure you shop black today, but everybody else, it's like, you don't have to tell me to do that. I'm already going to shop with Asians or, you know, Jews or Hispanic. Well, I'm already going to do that. I don't need it. But us, we have to remind ourselves to do it. We are very conditioned. And it's unfortunate. George says first person to bring wheat to America was Black Moors, right? So why we can't have no bread companies? What's wrong with us, you know? Barry says FBA culture has left New York City. Has it? Donovan says $16 billion in black hair industry, 80% controlled by Koreans. We talk about wasting money. Yeah. There's a lot of money wasted in hair, alcohol, leisure time, clothes, you name it. Jordans. Y'all brothers talk about the sisters with the weaves, but the brother, I know sisters wear Jordans too, but the brothers knee deep in the Jordans. Some of y'all got a closet full of every one ever made, right? He also got a bus pass. I'm just saying. Mindful Moment says part of the reason they want to get rid of TikTok, too much knowledge is being shared, is moving too fast to be controlled and manipulated. Yeah, I saw that the House voted because it was always said that China ByteDance, that's the company that owns it, they have to sell it to somebody in America or it's getting shut down. I think they should sell it to somebody like Kanye. You know, you said I have to sell it to an American. They're an American. There you go. You know, but yeah, of course we know why. TikTok is a force. It is a force to be reckoned with. Brooklyn says a house could provide generational wealth. Yep, it sure can, but people are selling it. Keisha said it's written in their deeds that you cannot sell the property to black people. Oh, absolutely. And they don't. A-Ball Side Pocket says we need to address the elephant in the room and investigate the money going to black churches and the lack of contributions in the community. Well, the other thing is you don't have to go to those churches. In fact, I think it was a brother by the name of Terrain, I think Walker on Twitter. Wasn't him? No, I think Damon, brother Damon. I forget his last name. But he was talking about how the membership in churches is like 20%. Now only like 20% of maybe Black people I think are going to the church. But back in the day, it used to be a lot more. And people just aren't going to church anymore. Because I think people aren't finding any benefit in going to the church. But, the church cannot have all that money unless we give it to them. We give it to them and we're afraid to question, well, what did you do with the money? Oh, you ain't supposed to question the man of God. Because they think you're going to be struck down by lightning or something. But, the other people churches, I went to a white church one time when I was here in Humble years ago. It was New Year's Eve. I mean, not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, as a matter of fact. And they put up a whole PowerPoint on the screen of what they did with the money last year and what they're going to do this year. And if you're making $100,000, you should be tithing $10,000 throughout this year because it's 10% and all of that. I said, wow, I've never seen that before. And I tell you, it was a huge church. And they have a whole bunch of other like satellite churches. They're called like Second Baptist or something like that out here. And it's huge. So let's see. Judge says I had to sell my inherited house because my stepmother never paid the taxes on it when my dad died. Yes, I'll tell you. And that's a part of it. That probably a lot of it. People don't keep up on the taxes. Macy says if we can all awaken to realize the power we have as Black people all around the world, it would be a game changer. I totally agree with you. Donovan says we wear our wealth, even though we lost 1/3 of Black wealth in 2008 and Obama did nothing about it. Yep, a lot of houses during that housing market crash belonged to us, and a lot of wealth was lost. Yeah, anybody, helped the banks though. Nobody was held accountable. Valerie says the Black vote didn't just place those useless Black people in office, but also those Hispanics too. So pay attention to those that Black vote is placing in office. So absolutely. But that's for us to do, right? We have to pay attention. Keisha says the cash flow for the first 5 years is a problem for Black businesses. Yeah, but imagine if we would just go and continue to buy Black, shop Black, then it wouldn't be as much as a problem. But that's a large part of it is we don't necessarily go to our own businesses like we should. Now, I get it. There's some customer service issues and stuff, but we need to fix it. Dwayne says Donovan is 100% on the Koreans controlling Black women's hair products. Seems dangerous for them to have control over that. Yeah, or you could just, wear your own hair as much as possible. There's a concept, HJ, how you doing? It says no offense, but the migrants from the diaspora do everything to undermine us FBA, so we should treat them the same way we need to treat other immigrants sucking up our resources. There's no argument for me there. We got to think about Black people first. It's just the way it has to be because we always think about everybody else and look what we end up with. Nothing. Black America says, I definitely don't like your views. Ha, ha, ha. And guess what? I don't care. And guess what else? I'm going to go to sleep just fine tonight. Oh, my God. I'm getting into bed, put the covers over my head because I sleep with the covers over my head. And I'm probably going to roll over on my right side and I'm going to fall asleep. Just so you know. Marcella says, thank you, Donovan, because I forgot to hit my like button. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Hello, love. He says, what's those books you mentioned and Netflix? Are you talking to me? Well, so this book here that I'm reading now, The Mathematics of the Mind by Brother Nuri Muhammad, is an excellent read. I'm almost done with it. It just basically talks about us realizing that we are gods and we have the ability that God have. There's no mystery God, if you will. The God and the powers that we have are within us. It talks about us, really thinking, using logic, and in a roundabout way, not being emotional and having a plan to succeed and all those other things. So it's a really, really good book. I also talk about this book here. I just happen to have it here. The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a great book. I think it was written in like 1963, I think, something like that. And everything that we see going on now was talked about in this book. So The Fall of America, you can get that on NOI.org. I think you'd also get it on Amazon if you can't find it on NOI.org for whatever reason. And this one, Amazon, I think you can get it on. And I don't know if you can get it on NOI.org or you can go to NuriMuhammad.com. You probably can find it there. So anyway, the Netflix, I'm not sure what I was talking about with Netflix. All right, so I'm gonna skip all the way down to the bottom. And Corey, was it you that had a question for me? Are you still here? Common Man, how you doing? It says white America is writing African American history out of the history of America. They're planning 200 years ahead. That's why we as a people will never get reparations. I believe it. Let's see here. Let's see. Thunder says, family, don't forget that tonight the comet will be passing by and you can see it with the naked eye. Oh, you know, I didn't even know that. Thank you for that. I love stuff like that. Mason says TikTok is a major competitor to the U.S. social media platforms. They are running circles around everything else. And there's a lot of information on there. A lot of people are being awakened. Crystal says APAC is pushing to end TikTok because of the pro-Palestine stance. I believe that is the case as well. Let's see. Mikey says shell toes. I'm Adidas. Avengers Ancestor says I haven't been to church in over 20 years. It's been a long time for me as well. I probably get struck by lightning or something. I don't know. Gwendolyn, how you doing? Says black citizens have to fight every day for equality. What makes them think that they are doing anything coming here illegally? I'm sick of all the illegal immigrants and attitudes of entitlement. Yeah, but that Biden administration has made them feel entitled. But and again, black people, voters rather, predominantly vote for the Democrats. So that's kind of on us too. Zariah says, laugh out loud. Will a man rob? Will a man rob God? And what they're really saying is, will you rob me? Right? So yeah. Pass the offering. And Tammy says, it hurts my heart to say it. We as a people won't see or follow as a solution unless a human brings it to us wrapped up in a black package. Shaking my head. A-Ball says, stop crying about how they're doing this and that to our community and gather villagers and go stop them. Now you said a word there. Alonzo say, laugh out loud, Creflo Dollar's church make you bring your own W-2 forms and gas money for his plane. Enlightened says, I don't think that TikTok is going to be sold because the World Trade Commission rules can supersede nations' rules and laws. Yeah. And that's kind of what I heard too. It sounds good, but there's a lot that has to go on before they can say, okay, we shutting it down. Because, you know, they're doing it under the premise of, oh, you know, the Chinese, they're doing something to us. They're taking our information and they're doing something to our children. It's like, get your kids off the app. Because imagine if you shut the app down, what you think your kids going to do to you? Going to be a lot of these parents, you know, on obituaries behind getting TikTok shut down because their children are calm because of it, right? So they find out their mommy and daddy were instrumental in getting TikTok shut down. Yeah, I feel sorry for them. Let's see here. All right. Allegory set forth. How you doing? And welcome. He says, this is a great show. A lot of topics devoted to knowledge and Black unity. I appreciate you for that. All possible by you all as well. Judge Dredd says, I can't sleep with covers over my head. I'd be thinking somebody's going to sneak up on me. You know, it don't bother me to sleep with covers over my head, although sometimes it get hot. You know, I'm like, okay, let me get some air. But let me ask y'all. See, I have a bathroom in my room, right? I have the master bedroom and my bed. So the foot of my bed is at the door of my bathroom. I can't sleep with my bathroom door open. Because like, say if I take the covers off my head and I look up and I see your door is just like a dark hole. Because I sleep with all the lights off. It's a dark hole. Then my mind gets to being like, is somebody in there watching me? So I have to close my bathroom door and I can't sleep with my bedroom door open because I don't know. I just don't want to feel like somebody is standing at the door and watching me sleep. So the covers over my head don't bother me, but open doors while I'm sleeping, yeah, I can't do that. I don't know how people sleep with their doors open. I cannot. Like when I went to my sister's house not too long ago, I was talking to her. She was in bed and I was going to go in the other room. I said, you want me to close my door? She goes, I don't sleep with doors closed in my house. I know Donovan don't either. He has all his doors open. And I said, well, good night. And I closed my door because I just don't want that feeling like somebody's standing there watching me. I know it's probably in my head, but yeah. Herschel says, yeah, time to be a little more careful so we don't end up with another Nuri Martinez or Carlos De Leon. Yeah, they talking about the Los Angeles City Council where they was, you know, talking about how to, you know, basically eliminate us and hating on us. It's like y'all using our blueprint and y'all talking greasy about us. But guess what? Nuri don't have a job no more. And I heard that her house was foreclosing and all kind of stuff. It's like, well, you should have thought about that before you was talking greasy about black people. You just can't do it. So, all right. For real, I'm going to skip down because I want to see. I think it was Corey. You had a question for me, and I really, really want to give that some conversation. Arson, you say, so I overheard you read a comment talking about how Africans and immigrants supposedly somehow disdain for Black Americans, and that's as a result, you should think Black first. Is there a link today? You know, I would share the link, but a lot of times when I'm up here by myself, God forbid it cuts off, and then you guys will be stuck up here. So I don't share the link today, but if I have like somebody else on here, like Walter or Donovan, then I'll share the link if that makes any sense. And I'm sorry, I haven't shared in a while, but I hope to in the next couple of days. Let's see. Easy, you say under national security, and Keisha says, no, those pastors are saying you better let me rob you and you better like it too. Yeah, and a lot of people, because they're afraid to question the pastor, like the pastor ain't God, the pastor ain't Jesus. Even though they make people think that they are, they're not Jesus. They're a man like you. But it's humans that give the pastor this deity role. Like, you know, he's doing better than you. You know, pastor. Listen, I know the Bible says we should take care of our pastors and stuff. But if your pastor is walking in the church with $3,000 gators on after he done got out of a Rolls Royce and left a mansion on the hill, and you catching the bus, and if your lights get cut out after you done sold the seed of faith, and you say, hey, pastor, can y'all slide me a couple of dollars to payday? I'm in the dark. And they say, well, the benevolence fund is kind of low right now, sister so-and-so. We wish you could help you, but we just don't know what we could do. Then you should say, well, pastor, are your lights on? Oh, yes, they're on. Then what are you doing to keep your lights on? Because I know I'm helping to keep your lights on, but you can't help me turn my lights back on. So I would say to anybody, if you go to church and give all your money to the man that's saying he a man of God, and then you go home and stringing 2 pieces of bread together while he eating fat and greasy, that ain't his problem. That's your problem, because you're brainwashed and you're afraid that the ground is going to open up and swallow you whole because you question the man of God. You're supposed to question. The Bible tells you that, right? Tells you to ask questions, but you sit up under there and I ain't going to ask no questions. Well, you kind of getting what you getting. I'm just saying. I don't go to church, so maybe I'm talking too much. A-Ball, you say during the pandemic, Black businesses exploded. Another brother sold toilet paper and got so many orders he had to hire more people. Let's get back to that shutdown spirit, right? Just like the Great Depression. There were more millionaires made during the Great Depression, and the pandemic showed the same thing, because there was no help, especially during the Great Depression. There was no help. There was no New Deal. There was no LBJ with all these programs and stuff. Those people had to really get it out the mud, and they did. So we could do the same thing. Judge says, I don't sleep in front of windows. I have a window by my bed, but it's not, my head ain't by it. You know, but I totally agree with you. Brooklyn Banner, he says too many slasher movies. Yeah, you know, scary movies don't really scare me. They're more like comedies to me, but it's just a weird, eerie feeling of sleeping with a door open on me while I'm going to bed. I don't know, I can't do it, you know. Brina says, I don't sleep with doors open either. Nope, got to be closed. And Judge says, no, I sleep with my bedroom door so I can hear the rest of the house. I don't need to hear. If the rest of the house is moving up in this mug, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And if somebody open my door, I'm probably going to hear it. And they going to hear something too. Because they shouldn't be in here. George says, people like that on Los Angeles City Council are all across America. They just did not get recorded. Yep, you're absolutely right. Black Spider, how you doing? Says, me too, and I like my toilet seat down so nothing can climb out of there too. You know what? You and me both. I always put my toilet seat down. And I'm not one of those like spooky, ooky people, but I'll be hearing about people be having some snakes and stuff up in their toilets. So yeah, you ain't gonna be climbing up out of there. And I'm gonna try to change the energy here. That stuff freaks me out. Frank, how you doing? Salute to you as well. Samuel says, I don't sleep with no doors open. Nope, not gonna happen. Okay, Corey, I'm gonna put this up here. And I'm down to the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to your question really quick, but I haven't forgot. George says, Emperor Jones, check out that picture of you. Understand what I mean? Okay, so, and I don't know what you mean. Mel Chesedek, I hope I said that right, King of Salem. You say Psalms 12 and 5, for the oppression of the poor, for the sighting of the needy. Now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. So basically, he's saying that the Lord is going to be there to help. That's the other thing too about this book here that I really love. It says, and I'm not saying anything wrong about that scripture. I agree with you. Problem with a lot of people that go to church, and a lot of our people, we have that, I'm going to let go and let God. I'm going to wait on God. But if you are a God and you are made in his image in every way, shape, or form, don't we also have the ability to make things happen? What are we waiting for? Get out there and make it do what it do, right? You know, God is in the midst, but God is also saying, hey, I gave you everything you need. It's not my problem that your belief system is so shattered that you think you need to get it from something outside of yourself. As he said, and so many other people said, we need a plan. You cannot succeed without a plan. Like, you can't just get up and say, oh, you know, unless you go hit the lottery. Now it's a different story, but then you got a plan to keep that money, because most lottery winners don't keep that money. They go broke really quick because they don't have a plan for it. But we have to plan to succeed. Well, everything we need is here, right? But I agree with you. Gwen, how you doing? If I didn't already say hello, he says, my Heavenly Father, haven't sent the majority of them to preach anything. That's a lot. To tell you, I don't believe at this day and age, people are still being fooled by those preachers. Oh yeah, because they want to believe in something outside of themselves. You know what I mean? If preachers were really trying to wake up Black people and help Black people, wouldn't be no Black people in that church. It wouldn't be, because they don't need to go and keep hearing, oh, just let go, let God, and trust the Lord. Yeah, I want to trust the Lord, but the Lord is like, all right, you trust me, I get it. Now get off your butt and get on your feet and make it do what it do. It's just that simple. So in some cases, religion keeps us tied and in our seats when we should be getting up and making it happen, right? Because you're not going to tell me that our ancestors that was on that plantation when they were freed reluctantly, that while they was on that plantation, you think they believed in God the way they were taught to believe in God, about that white savior in the sky? You think they believe that? Because I read a lot of slave, what do they call them? It slips my mind, but you know what I mean, narratives, slave narratives. And a lot of them talked about it, said, we know it was bull caca, because if they really believed in Jesus and God, and you know, God is a just God, and you reap what you sow, it said then they'd have to believe that they'd have to get what they was doing to us. So they knew it was bull caca, but they went along with it, right? Obviously, because they had to. But when they got off the plantation, did they wait on God, or did they go and build what they needed to build? They did what they got to do. They was like, okay, I got God in me. I'm gonna take what I know. I'm gonna build your Black Wall Streets and your Slocums and your Rosewoods and, you know, all the other woods and all the other places, right? They did that. They took God with them themselves. All right. So let's see here. Easy says, D, you need that's still under the pillow. Oh, trust me, it's somewhere. You can believe that. Ain't nobody coming in here and leaving the way they came up in here. And let's see. Okay, let me skip down. Alonzo says, these people come over here with their tribal identity. Sometimes we wonder why they have so much hate. We remember how some of us got here in the first place. Betrayal. Yes, indeed. And Mox Nix, thank you so much for the super sticker love, and appreciate you for that. And you guys, there's ways to donate to the channel if you see fit. If you found some value here today, hallelujah. Sound like a pastor, don't I? No, but for real. If y'all found some value here today, y'all want to help the channel, at the bottom of the screen, there's ways to do that. You can do super stickers and everything else. If not, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, or whatever it is. But everything you guys do, I love and appreciate you for that. Once again, thank you. All right. Oh, I'm at 2 hours. All right. So let me get to what I said I was going to get to. All right. So let me go back to here. I'm going to try my best to, oh, Lord. Okay. Where'd it go? Here. Now, Corey, can I ask you to be a little bit more specific if you can? Because that's a really loaded question, and it's a wide, it could go either way. So if you don't mind me asking you to be just a little bit more specific, and then I can see if I can be of more help to you. So I'll wait and see if you can give me some specifics, because I think you said something about something happened specifically to you. So I just want to speak to that, because that one right there, I don't know if I really can, because it's going to get me in a lot of trouble. Because there are some men that are disrespectful. I want to say that, but I want to see if you can just help me hone in on a question just a little bit. But I'm going to skip down and see if you are more specific. Judge Dredge says, even white folks don't believe in Jesus. Yeah, what God are they praying to? Are we even praying to the same God? You know, because I think of my ancestors that were told that Jesus was there in the midst, Jesus was going to help them. You know how many of our ancestors probably cried out to Jesus when they was getting their back split open? When their wives were getting snatched? I know they weren't technically married, but they were, in a sense, jumping a broom and stuff, right? When their wives were getting snatched by Massa and his homies, dragged into that field and had the most heinous things happen to them. You don't think they cried out to Jesus? You don't think they cried out to Jesus when their babies were being sold? You don't think they cried out to Jesus ever when, they were being lynched, hunted down, they're picking cotton day up, sun up and sundown? I don't think they was crying out to Jesus. So I'm thinking, how much did our ancestors really believe in Jesus? Now I know somebody said, well, it's prophesied in the Bible, we're supposed to do this, that. Okay. So then again, why is Jesus helping white folks and it's not helping black people? What are they doing, or who are they praying to that we're not praying to? Didn't we learn this form of Christianity from them? Why it ain't working for us? I'm just asking. All right, so let me see if that question was answered. Allegory said, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. Yes, indeed. Judge, you said, I do believe in a creator. I do too. But which one? Which one are we believing in? Keisha says, I do not believe that the Israelites and the Roman Catholics pray to the same Savior. Yeah, we definitely praying to somebody else. That I will say for sure. Enlighten says, some men might be disrespectful because they were not taught to be respectful. Yeah, that's why I said I wanted them to be very specific. I wanted Corey to be specific because, like I said, I don't want to go sideways and then it's not what she was wanting. Alonzo says that my granddad used to say the preacher speak of heaven and hell because he know no one will come back to challenge him. And how do we know it even exists, right? Ain't heaven and hell here? See, black people in those churches, we're taught heaven is somewhere else. But as I say in the nation and everywhere else, and even in this book, heaven is here. Heaven and hell is here, right? But a lot of us could say, oh, we living in hell. Do you think it's going to get worse if there's like something below, as Curtis Mayfield said? If there's a hell below, we all going to go, and we in hell now. And you can have a heaven here too. It's both. Like nobody's ever came back and said, man, I just came back from heaven to tell y'all, man, y'all missing out on something. And I'm not trying to be morbid, but if heaven is so much better, why are we here? Why don't we just go? Why don't we ask to, beam me up? I'm trying to go to heaven, where there's milk and honey and gold and all that. And surely no one's come back from hell and said, golly, I just came up here to get a glass of ice water. I'm going to go back down there. We don't know. So right now we got to treat here and now as heaven because they're both attainable. Hell is not hard to live. Heaven might be a little bit harder because we have to change our belief systems. We got to think a little bit more on the positive side and start walking in that. All right, let's see if Corey came back with some specifics. Thunder says things are looking rough in the States. We should try our best to get ready as best we can, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And the ones that everyone leaves out tangibly. Yep. You're going to need some tangibles. Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Your average logical thing says, "Ooh, y'all better believe that your soul goes somewhere." Oops, where'd it go? Your soul goes somewhere after here on earth. Eternal life is real too. I don't believe that our souls go to hell or heaven in it. I don't know. I guess I'll find out, right, one day. But I believe that we are energy, right? Our ancestors, they're energy. They never leave us. They leave us, but in essence, they are still here. We're energy. I guess we'll have to find out. I mean, if there really is one, I hope I don't go down there. I think I've been a good enough person not to go down there, if it does exist. All right, here we go. Corey, you say, I recently broke up with my boyfriend because he called me broke. Got you. So he called you broke. So I'm assuming you broke up with him. I'm trying to see if I need to ask you some more questions. Called you broke. Is there a little bit more to it before I really get into it? And I'm sorry that give me as much detail as you can without really giving all of your personal detail, but give me a little bit more, because calling somebody broke is disrespectful. However, I'm one of those people, if it's true, is it disrespectful? And I'm not saying it's true. That's why I want you to give me a little bit more information so I can really give it a full explanation before we get out of here, because I really want to help you. Like Keisha said, yes, heaven can be here too. Yeah, everybody else is living in heaven. You go to some of these big old giant houses in Sugar Land, what is it, River Oaks, and all these other places with these big giant houses at the gated communities that look like heaven to me. Why we got to wait to go to heaven and get a mansion on a hill? I know people with mansions on the hill here. Why we got to wait? That's all I want to know. Brooklyn, you say Yahweh is the creator and Yahshua, aka Jesus, is the Messiah. Yes, indeed. And trust me, y'all know I've gone to church and I do believe there's a higher power. I do. I just be having questions. Y'all know what messed me up as far as asking questions? I took a philosophy class back in the day, and I was like, ooh, how do we know? Because that's what philosophy is, right? How do you know? It teaches us to ask. How do you know? Do you know because somebody told you and you just went with that? I don't know of anybody who's gone to heaven or hell to even say, yeah, I did it. It's what we think it is. I don't know it. Do y'all? I don't know. I know we heard of like people dying and they've seen the light or something like that. But did you go to heaven or have you gone to hell? I know the Bible is very descriptive. It's going to be gnashing of the teeth and it's going to be really hot. And, there was some rich man down there in heaven who asked for just a drop of water on his tongue. I'm not saying it's not. So I'm not trying to mock it at all. I'm just saying, how do we know? And I don't think that should deem a person to hell because they're asking questions, M says, because you have to be asleep to make it make sense. Okay. Yeah, Brina, what is heaven and hell? It's a good question. All right. He says, I told him how I am broke, but I'm able to pay my bills and take care of myself. So is he wanting you to take care of him? Hey, Sister Shirley, how you doing? So you're able to take care of yourself and pay your bills. Assuming y'all don't live together. I'm not sure why he would call you broke, but broke is really, it can be defined by a lot of things, right? Obviously, broke means one hand that you don't have any money. As my mama used to say, broke, busted, and disgusted, which means you ain't got nothing, right? Then there's broke mentally, there's broke spiritually, there's, broke physically even. But if he's calling you broke and you felt like he was disrespectful, then yeah, it's probably disrespectful. But was he wanting you to do something for him? Like, what was that about? That's what I guess I need to know. But I would just say this in general. If you're with somebody who is disrespectful to you and they make disrespect a habit with you, then stop hanging out with those people. Lessen your time with those people because eventually they'll make you feel bad, right? They need to work on themselves. They got something else going on where they disrespect people. And a lot of people like that, they think it's normal. They think I'm speaking my truth. Well, the operative word is your truth. That is your truth. And even if it's your truth, you don't have the right to be evil and mean, callous, and cold to people. You know, you can be nice. You don't have to be disrespectful. But I'm just at my point in my life. And listen, I went on a blocking spree last week. I went on a blocking spree of some family members who I love dearly. I do. I love them. But you're not going to be disrespectful to me. I'm sorry. I just turned 53 years old and I'll be damned. I'll be damned. If I live another 53 years of being disrespected, I'm just not going to do it. And I just had like this light bulb moment. It feels like, I don't know if it was when I turned 53 or whatever it was, but just had like this moment. I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to be disrespected. So I'd rather just block you so I can preserve my peace. I like peace because when you're not at peace, which is what happens when you're disrespected, when you're not at peace, your stress level goes up, right? You're in angst. And if you're like me, sometimes I used to until when I got my braces, I can't grit my teeth anymore, which is probably a good thing. But you grit your teeth and your face is all balled up and you get wrinkles and then you start feeling sick to your stomach because it's like you don't want to be disrespected, but you don't want to cut yourself off from people you love. But sometimes it's a necessary thing, even if it's for a moment, right? I got to cut you loose. I got to let you go because you're causing me some worries, and I don't want that. So if that person, your ex-boyfriend or whoever he is being disrespectful, let him go. There's a lot of men out there that's going to be respectful. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. There's a lot of men out there that will be respectful and they will love you and all of that the way you need to be loved. And the same thing is true for you men. Don't be with a woman. I mean, if a man is your choice, I don't know, but don't be with a woman who is disrespectful. I know sometimes we love people and it's hard to see us cutting ourselves off from them. But if you want to protect your peace, as they say, then you're going to have to cut loose from those people. It's just the way it needs to be. Your average logical thinker says, Corey, did you ask him for money? Like, how did the conversation go? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's really going on here? And Rami says, if the streets in heaven are paved with gold, we have plenty of gold right here. If they are sweet milk and honey in heaven, we can go to the market and buy orange blossom honey there. Yep. Allegory set forth says some people reincarnate and come back from the dead. Imagine that. So they say. Donovan says, why are Black people the only ones that are told that they are will get theirs in the next life when everyone else is getting and having theirs in the life here and now? That's because during slavery, slaves were told certain things from the Bible. They weren't told everything. They were told, you go to heaven, you'll be washed white as snow. Listen to your master, take everything your master's doing to you, because the other side of that said an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. They didn't hear that part, right? And so that was taught to us, our ancestors, because it's like, I know right now, and if I'm the slave master, right? I know right now you're going through hell. You're being tested. You're going through some things, but guess what? Just allow me to do these things to you. And when you die and go to heaven, it won't be like this. In fact, you won't even be Black. You're going to be washed white as snow. You're going to have a mansion up there, not this old shanty with holes in the floor and the roof and the walls. It's going to be a big mansion like the one I have. See here, you're going to have all the food you like with nutrients. Not going to be eating hog ass and weeds and stuff that you have to dig up out of the ground and hard potato. You won't have any of that. You're going to have all the things that I eat. Just let me do it to you until you die, and then you're going to get all that. And we still think that. That's where it comes from. Herschel says, I'm from the school of Dave Chappelle. What did you do, Corey? And what is that exactly? M says, faith and religion are two totally different things. Yes, indeed. They are. And Ronnie, how you doing? All right, so let's see. Infinite 1888. How you doing? Says the Bible was made up. None of them characters ever even existed. It's a trap. Look at the televangelist massacre. Those practices have no power. You said it. I did not. I'm going to keep reading. And welcome, by the way. And Denise says every religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all were copied from Ma'at. Yes. Read and study the laws of Ma'at. They are do's and don'ts in life. And you're supposed to read them every day when you wake up and every day when you go to bed to make sure that you didn't do those things. I need to get better at that. But absolutely. George says Black folks haven't hit rock bottom yet. Expect more pain like I've been saying for years, and you guys don't listen and you want help from the Messiah man, get out of here. You tell him to shut up. Yes, indeed. I hate evil people. Me too. How you doing? He says, so let me get this straight. The African migrants disrespect the positive black people instead of disrespecting the bad black people, but want fair treatment from our common enemy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Herschel. Block party. It could get addicting. So I need to be careful that I'm blocking the right people, but I don't need any more gray hairs than I have. And I will block people. I don't care who you are. It's just that serious because I ain't gonna have my life shortened behind other people's silliness. Not gonna be me. I don't think so. Corey says all my bills always paid, and I'm able to treat myself and my son often. Yeah, I don't know. He says, but he is the one struggling, not me. Oh, so is he wanting you to help you to help him? Is that why he's calling you broke? Well, I mean, you're not obligated to help him, just like he ain't obligated to help you. You know, if he ain't put a ring on your finger, y'all not married and under the same household and all other stuff, you're not obligated to help him. You know, he a man. He's like, go, get out there and make it do what it do. That's what men do. You know, men don't depend on a woman. A man gets out there and put his own hands to the shovel or whatever. As it says in the Bible, since we talk about it, a man that will not work is not fit to live. You know, you're supposed to get out there and till your own garden and do all that other stuff, right? But you got to make it do what it do. That's what everybody has to do that, right? So yeah, so that just ain't your man. I hate to tell you that. It doesn't sound like that's your man. Sounds like he needs to work on himself. Zariah says, laugh out loud, white as snow. Ain't that what they tell you? You're going to be washed white as snow? Well, what does that mean? Something wrong with you is being black. That's what it's saying. Right now, you're black and you're dirty and you're filthy. We know you don't want to be black. You know you want to be lily white. We know you want you that. And even today, you see some black people everywhere, right? Even in Africa, they got the bleaching cream and all that trying to be white. It's like they trying to be you. What are you doing? But they have put that in our head. There's something wrong with your blackness. But guess what? You get up there, you're going to have a whole new white body. I would have said, am I going to have a flat booty? Because I don't want that. I probably went too far with that one. But yeah, that's what they tell you. Yeah, Mike. I mean, don't people be eating hog ass? I don't know. I don't mess with it. Corey says, no shade, but my lights are on. And you know what? Thank God. You know, ain't you lucky you got it? I don't know if he's trying to say his lights ain't on, but he might need to work a little bit harder at that. Get his lights on. Pick up another job. Whatever he needs to do. I've been a point in my life, I've had 3 jobs. I have to make it do what it do. I didn't like working 3 jobs, but I didn't want to be in the dark either. So, yeah. George says, pork ass, that's technically the ham. Oh, see? And did I say, let's see. And Corey says, no, I don't ask him for anything. I make sure I have my own. God bless the child that's got his own. My parents used to always tell me that. God bless the child that has his own. Damon, you crazy, said hog ass in effect. Yeah. All right. So you know what, y'all? And Samuel C says, Demetri, nothing feels good than blocking people from on social media. I already block family. I block my females if I have to. I think you meant your family. Yeah. I block people on. It takes me a lot to block people. But now I'm just at the point, like, I don't care. If you're causing me issues, anxiety, stress, I'm going to block you. I don't like losing sleep or anything over nonsense, especially if it's all nonsense is ridiculous, right? But I'm not going to do it. I refuse to. I'm too cute. I'm too cute to be stressed. Say it with me, everybody, whether you're a man or you're a woman. I'm too cute. I'm too handsome to be stressed, okay? And you say that to yourself, then your block finger is going to get a little bit stronger when you say that. Like, do they know who I am? I'm too cute to be stressed. And go with that. Marcella says this is such a trip. Blacks want to be white and white want to be black. You see how long they've been sun tanning boots and out in the sun catching cancer to be black. Yep. Yeah. I mean, the sun is nice, but they trying to get this, you know. And I'll be in the sun too. Don't get it wrong. I'll be trying to get as dark as possible. And I just got, this is my first layer of tan. By the end of the summer, I'm gonna try to be like this shirt. Just wait for it. I need to give me some good suntan and oil. All right, so I'm gonna read these last comments and then I'm gonna get out of here for real. And Georgia says, I love prosciutto ham. Yeah, I'm not trying to stay away from ham. I don't eat ham. But I take your word for it. Let's see. And Judge said, Corey still want that man. Obviously, I get it. You know, she wanted to work out. I get it. But, you know, if he ain't going to act right, you know, and we get rid of people in our own time. You know, we do what we need to do in our own time. But I don't blame her. Emmy says, Mr. Demetri K be hitting the deep notes. Yeah, I know. That's what happens when you get older, too. Your voice drops. Hello, darling. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all should hear me first thing in the morning. You call me, going to be like, hello, sir. Is Demetri there? I do that to my friend all the time. He calls me in the morning. He's like, damn. Sometimes I'll be like, who this? What you want? He's like, damn, you quit playing. And Mike says, I don't eat pork over 30 years. Yes, indeed. Brina says, I had a man call me broke when he was living with me. They are just trying to trigger you. Don't listen. You know the truth. Yeah, that's wild. You living with me and calling me broke? Okay. George says, hog ass is the whole ham. Got you. Now I know. Yes, Sam, pork is disgusting. Great video. How you doing? He says, we love you. My sister, have a great day. And I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Say it with me. Brina, I'm too cute to be stressed. Judge, he says, all my women have more money than me, except for maybe two. And were you all right with that? It's okay that she has more money, you know, but if she start dangling, you don't tell me what to do. I got the money. It's like, you right. I'm out of here. Block. And Ramin says, you are a doll, baby. He's talking to me. Well, thank you. And Keisha says, an African sister was recently on TikTok breaking down the dowry and family expectations for men for courting and marrying women in Africa. We need to get with it. Yeah, over there, they like, you can't be running up in here with, you know, a pocket full of rocks talking about, I want to marry your daughter. How much you got? Nothing? Nothing 99? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to wait for the next man with some money to come up over here because she got a price on her over here, you know. Unfortunately, people's just supposed to just get on the back of the wagon and go set up shop in the shanty in the Dust Bowl and be like, okay, I'm home. I don't know. Yeah, David, you crazy. I'm too old to be stressed. That too, for real. M says black until the police show up. And Donovan says, I just choked on my rice. Don't do that, brother. We need you to come back safely. What kind of rice you eating? Corey says, I do offer to help him, but he says I don't have enough money. Well, then tell him to go get a sugar mama somewhere. Tell him stop wasting your time. Tell him to put on his Speedo or whatever and go stand out there on the boulevard and catch him a sugar mama that got more money than you. You know, it's like, what do you want me to do, bro? If I ain't got enough money for you, stop talking to me. I'm too broke to be having a conversation with you. So what are you doing? George says prosciutto ham is cured in a salt brine, fresh, cold air for at least 2 to 3 months. So any pathogens that are in there are dead. Good to know. Okay. Judge says deep voice chicks. Pause. No, for real. I got a deep voice early in the morning. I do. 8 Boy says trivia. Who sung God Bless the Child? And did you ever see the classic movie Imitation of Life? I have. God Bless the Child is Billie Holiday, if I'm not mistaken, right? Did I pass? Did I get it right? Yes, I have seen Imitation of Life. Very sad movie. But you know what, though? There's a lot of black people around here white passing to this day. But I'm like, you know, it's one thing if you're white passing. Are you white passing because you're raccooning? Or are you white passing because you're really trying to help yourself and then help others? You know what I mean? I don't agree with it either way. But if you trying to white pass like you don't want people to know you black, you have a baby, then that baby come out black, then you got some splaining to do. So, a pocket full of stones. Brooklyn says, over here, the father of the bride pays for the wedding. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, right? I was going to say something. I was going to get in trouble. I ain't going to say it. Yes, Billie Holiday. Rena, thank you. And George says, they just showed a video of an Arab guy buying a wife for 5 cows. He did it for cloud and for yucks, and the dude is already married. Ugh. 5 cows. Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to come with more than 5 cows. I mean, I guess in other countries, 5 cows is a lot, but 5 Cadillacs, maybe. I don't know. You know what? Donovan said I choked on your too cute comment. Donovan, say it with me. All right, then here's one for you. I'm too bald to be stressed. Because stress then snatched the rest of my hair out. Say it, Donovan. Just as damn 5 cows is a bargain here. They want a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? And Brother Don says, you know that makes her his property and he wants, and it can afford an additional wife, women, he can take them on as well. Yeah, but that's what they do over there. That's expected, right? They know that, right? But over here, you get married, dun, 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 hey, dun, 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 hey, hey. You going down the aisle with your man, and then 3 months later, you got the side piece on the line. I've always been here, you know. So what I'm saying is over there, they know they got other women. The other women know there's other women. All right, cool. He rich, he got it. I ain't gonna be wrong for nothing. Over here, you think you marrying one dude, and then you got 14 side pieces hitting your line in your inboxes and everything else, talking about, oh yeah, he was with me on the night of your wedding. Not all, but some. Them over there, okay? I'm just saying. Brooklyn says 5 chickens, 3 cows, and 2 goats, and 5 Cadillacs. Yeah, Judge, done. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Because I'm tired. But I love y'all. Donovan, are you on here still? Will you be here Tuesday? I know you've got a lot going on over there. Your chicas, they miss you, and you know they want to love on you. But will they let you go Tuesday? Will you be here Tuesday? The people miss you. I just want to know. Thank you, Mike. Nice. I appreciate you. And Judge says, y'all know y'all expensive here. No, we not. Listen, all we ask for, okay? When I say we, I mean me. Maybe I could speak for the other ladies. At this point in the junction, whatever, we just want y'all to be able to take care of yourself, and I can take care of myself, and then we get together and we put our little peanuts together and we make peanut butter, right? And then we can both be doing well. But expensive, yeah, there's some women who's like, boo, you got to be doing this. I got to be in a house like that. And I know you working at Taco Bell, but you need to figure out how to put me in a mansion and all that. But most women just want a good man that's, got something. A lot of women ain't even saying you got to be going in and out of the high-rise buildings as a CEO. Some women is like, cool, you work in a warehouse. I'm with it. How you gonna treat me? Because there's men that work in those high rises that's jumping in those G-Wagons and all that other stuff ain't gonna treat a woman right at all. But see, some of us women, when I say some of us, I don't mean me, I'm talking about us in general. We overlook that man at the warehouse. We overlook that man that's on the back of that trash truck. Oh, I remember when I first moved here, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what happened to these brothers. It was a whole bunch of brothers on this garbage truck, right? They would come and get the trash. So one day, me and my daughter was outside. We was just pulling up, and they rolled up as a whole bunch of brothers. Lord have mercy. And it was hot. And so we was saying, hi, how you doing? And all of this stuff. And they helped us do something. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, you know what? Next time y'all come back, I'm going to have something to drink for y'all. And every time they would come back, I would have something to drink. And then one day I didn't see them no more. It was Paco and them that would come. And they were nice too, but the brothers, boy, I was like, ooh, wait. I ain't never want to approach no man now. But they were some good looking brothers on the back of that truck. And I wonder if they were single. I never did ask. But what I'm saying is, sister, sometimes we got to, stop overlooking those brothers with them everyday jobs. Because a lot of those brothers with everyday jobs, they do all right, but they good men. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so Donovan said, yes, after your medical appointments, that means you're going to be gone all day because you got a lot of stuff wrong with you. I'm just playing. Keep me posted. Yes, happy wife, happy life. I mean, I think everybody should be happy. I think everybody in the household should be happy. Everybody should. Happy spouse, happy house. There you go. Everybody should be happy, because if you just have a happy wife, what about the husband? His happiness don't matter. He just sit there just scratching his head and is unhappy. Everybody should be happy. I think. So, and judge says, even men say you got to be rich these days. You ain't got to be rich. How about be rich here? Be rich here. Because if you're rich here and here, you can get money. You get with the right woman and y'all about something, you can get money. Money comes and goes. My mom used to say money is everywhere. Money is everywhere. Money ain't hard to get. What's hard to get is somebody is here and here on the same page, right? We don't, y'all hear me talk about time. We get with a man. Y'all get with a woman with a big old booty. But y'all forget all those red flags. Y'all just want to be with somebody who make you feel good, who gonna lie to you. She got a lot of stuff doing. She's smoking weed, doing a whole bunch of stuff you don't like, but yet you try to force that relationship. But then there's a good woman somewhere who got her stuff together. You don't want nothing to do with her. You want that warm and fluffy. You know what I'm saying? And I say this because I'm in my 50s. I think there's nothing sadder than a man or a woman. Now, I'm not single by choice. I'm just single because men just don't want to do me right. And that's just the God's honest truth. Every last one of my exes, and I'll bring them, every last one of them up here, they'll be in a square of their own. And they'll tell you, Demetra has never done nothing to me. I was being selfish or whatever. She never deserved anything that we did to her. So I'm not in these single streets by myself. But I think there's nothing sadder than men and women our age that are single by their own doing. Because I always ask, hey, facts not feeling. I always ask or say there's never enough of more. How much kitty cat do you need, brothers? How much dang-a-lang do you need, ladies? Like, when is enough going to be enough? You know, and Donovan says this all the time. You'll never be able to get them all. But there's a lot of men out there, a lot of women out there, this age, in their 50s. Pretty soon you're going to be in your 60s. You're going to be in your 70s. And you're going to be by yourself. Going to be by yourself, reminiscing about all the good people you done kicked in the tailbone because you was greedy, looking over somebody else's fence. Somebody jumped in your inbox because you got low self-esteem. You let them bump your head up with all this other stuff. But I'm going to tell y'all another thing, okay? This internet will make y'all believe people are who they are not, right? And on the internet, everybody's fabulous. Everybody's fabulous on the internet. Oh, you look like you got it going on. Oh, you're just so full of life. You're so funny. You know how many comedians on the internet that ain't funny at all, that ain't laugh, don't know how to laugh. You have a conversation with them, they'll tell you how bad life is. Oh, but on the internet, they funny. They got women. Oh, you so cute. Talk to that sucker offline and see how cute he is. Talk to that woman offline after she showing you the best parts and everything, and get in her head so you can see who she is really. So, you know, after a while, you're going to have to learn how to settle down to a good choice. Not somebody else's choice, but a good choice for you. There's always going to be a bigger booty than the one you with. There's always going to be a man with more money than the one you with. There's always going to be somebody more this, that, and the other. But do you have the maturity to settle down and be content with who you are? See, that's the other thing too. People who aren't content with who they are, or people who don't have knowledge of self and good self-esteem, it'll be a woman or a man somewhere to come and tell you, oh, well, your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance, she ain't, and because you don't know who you are, you go off to that and believe everything that man or woman is saying. And then you end up by yourself struggling. For why? Because you got low self-esteem. And your self-esteem, now I'm talking to somebody out there I know. I don't know why I just felt led to say this, but your self-esteem come from somebody else. That's not self-esteem. It's their esteem. You wouldn't have self-esteem if it wasn't for somebody else telling you who you are. Do you wake up in the morning and say, I know I'm the stuff? Like I said, I'm too cute to be stressed. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Sometimes I am, but a lot of times I'm not. I have to really talk to myself and say, no, ma'am. You are to this. You are to that to settle for less. Everything that got coming to me, I want. But I got to know who I am first. Now, I don't care how much money you have, what kind of house, car, whatever you got. If you don't have knowledge of self, you are broke. And I'm telling y'all, stop getting with these men and women who have knowledge of self. They got knowledge of somebody else, but they don't got knowledge of self. Because when they don't know who they are, somebody else will tell them, and then you'll end up with a broken heart because somebody told them who they are and they didn't already know that. So, oh, you feel like you in therapy? Oh, well, all right now. I'm just saying, like, we got to really, like, edify ourselves, because the world we live in now, somebody is willing to tell you you ain't enough. That's why when somebody, I can't remember who it was, now that's just how far removed I am from it, said that this show is basically nothing without Donovan. And in his opinion, it might be, but that don't bother me because I know who I am. You know, I know that this show is miles and, you know, far better because of Donovan, right? But that comment doesn't bother me because I know who I am. Now, if I didn't know who I am, I'd be like, wait a minute, no, you can just let me just click off a little bit. But it don't bother me. See what I'm saying? So I think we could fix a lot of this relationship stuff when we start, as they say in the nation, settling down to a good choice, not somebody else's choice. Not, you know what I'm saying? A good choice for you. Like, the people who are together for a long time are becoming rare. That was our parents, and barely my parents' generation, but definitely our grandparents. They stayed together forever and ever and ever and ever until that one of them died. And then shortly after, the other one went with them, because it's like, I cannot be here without you. We need to start seeing love stories like that again. The problem is we are unequally yoked. Now, I'm not just talking about religion, but I'm talking about every way, shape, or form. Why would you get with a man who is doing A, B, C, and D? Why would you get with a woman who's doing A, B, C, and D, and you want to do A, B, and C, or Z and whatever? Why would you get with somebody like that? You know? Yeah, judge, know yourself. Donovan says the show was Demetra before I joined. Yeah, like I said, Donovan made it much better. You know, Donovan and I are thick as thieves. Y'all see us. Sometimes we don't agree. A lot of times we don't agree. But it's all love at the end of the day. And that's why people like this show, because they like Donovan's opinion. They like my opinion. You know, but at the end of the day, Donovan and I are on the same page. We just have different books. we got different authors sometimes. But, you know, you think about bears and antelopes. When is the last time you saw a bear with an antelope? You probably never have seen it. But you see men and women getting with, in a sense, bears and antelopes, or people who are not like them or not close to them. And it's like, well, you knew that wasn't going to work in the first place, because that person is not on the same page with you at all. You just got with them because y'all probably hopped into bed. The sex was good. Your minds were blown and you thought that was love, but it's not. Sex is not love. Sex is not a relationship. Sometimes we got to ask ourselves in some of these relationships, are we just having sex or are we in a real relationship? Because you can have sex with anybody and say, okay, was it good for you? Yeah, it was good for me. Okay, great. I'll never want to see you again. And it's the same act. But we got it, because what if you were never able to have sex? Would you still have a relationship? If you say no, then you're just in it for the sex. Because there's some people who can't have sex for whatever reason. Maybe you were able to have that with them and now you can't. What do you have? Can y'all have conversation? Do y'all have other interests? If that was to go away, if Thanos or God or whoever say, no more sex, what would you have? I don't know. So we got to really think about those things. And Sister B says, longevity in marriage is a beautiful thing. Yeah. So stop looking for more of more. There's never enough of more. I don't care what you think about it. There's never enough of more. Be satisfied. Learn to sit down and be satisfied. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, and this ain't to really toot my own horn, there's been a lot of brothers that dropped the ball on me. A lot of brothers that dropped the ball because they weren't satisfied. And they ain't satisfied now. None of them. Not now one of them are satisfied even to this day. They still searching, still looking. They ain't satisfied because they ain't never going to find another woman like me. And I'm not being conceited. They just not. So anyway, I love you guys. Love you dearly. And I will be back here Tuesday. Donovan's here. If he's done with all his appointments, then we'll see him. If not, you'll just see me. And maybe I'll have somebody else come on here. But in the meantime, you guys do have a great rest of your evening. I love you dearly. In the meantime, peace. Yes, Sister B, that's because they're not satisfied with themselves. Yes, indeed. Hallelujah. Bye.